Hello? Oh, there's Paulie. Hello, Paulie.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, got you. How you doing, man?
What's going on? I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I think we got caught off guard with the with the time zones.
Yeah, I don't know why we still change times, man. It screws up everything. Every year, it's the same thing. It's ridiculous.
It's all good. Eddie, we are any closer to getting other ways of payments besides Stripe? It isn't available in India, and it's yeah. We're going to work on that. It's certainly on the pipeline there that we need to get more alternative payment methods. It's definitely a big one. Yo, Paul, feel free to grab any questions in chat if you want to, by the way.
Yeah, I was just going to say, in terms of like the payment stuff, we're working with some other partners like Amazon Pay and Apple Pay. It's definitely on the horizon right now.
Ice fell off, sadly. He got lazy. Fuck. Ice hasn't fallen off. If you define falling off as being like 7K viewers, 8K viewers, then that's rough. That's not falling off.
Well, I know crypto payments. I think it's something we discussed recently with running that through Stripe directly as they launch crypto payments. Right, Ed?
Yeah, I think that was like a real possibility, right? They're kind of experiment. I think USDC they're using.
Yeah,
maybe right. I think the response we've always kind of given in the past, right, has been like, we want to try to keep that crypto association at sort of an arm's length distance. But if it is going through Stripe, then hey, we'll definitely definitely give it a crack.
Yeah, I think they're just working on like the reoccurring. I think right now we actually could do like one-time payments of crypto, like gifts, for example. But the reoccurring subscriptions is something that's still not available yet. So we kind of wanted for both, to wait for both of them to be ready.
Yeah, true. I think that's something with crypto that will be very hard to solve is like any kind of recurring payments because, crypto obviously isn't kind of, unless you maybe funded your account with it and then kind of had like a debit system going. But yeah, I think solving that might be a little bit tough. Any updates on kicks? Oh, yeah, we should have had kicks out a while ago, that's for sure. It's coming. Hey, we're making progress, right? We got the TV app out this week, which is a huge win. Really well polished, well developed product. I don't know if you had a chance to get it out, but yeah, Kicks is going to be great. Whether it's called Kicks or not is still up for debate, but Kicks obviously being a variation of similar bits. I think we put that on the roadmap. It's sitting there. But we'll definitely get there. It's gonna be a game changer. I think obviously, especially in countries where $5 is a decent chunk of change, right? Being able to kind of have a different denomination for different currencies is gonna be great. Eddie, I've messaged you on Discord. Can you please give me a respond, brother? I'm not the best with Discord, to be honest, man. I must say my Discord is I need to get more amongst Discord. I think everyone's kind of moving to Discord. Discord's taken over for sure. I love my Telegram though.
When will the dashboard part of the front end get updated to the new version of the front end? Good question. We're almost there. So like the mod dashboard will probably come first before the creator dashboard comes. But they're very close to the finish line there. Yeah.
I must say that's a good question.
Yeah, good question.
Yeah, very well noticed. Yeah, that is coming, right? So hopefully not far off. Obviously, I think those dashboards are some of the most important pages, right? Especially if you are streaming.
Yeah.
Yo, did Andrew give a time of how far off he is, or?
No, I'll ping him though.
Eddie, I'm the only female that grinds Warframe on Kick. Could you talk to Warframe developer to come to Kick? Also have game drops here too. Yeah, we want to get game drops hopefully sorted pretty soon. I think in terms of how the functionality of drops work, it's it's nothing too complicated. I think a big part about that is having the public API done first. I think the public API is kind of the inroad for drops. Where my camera froze.
I see some sidekick badges here in chat, and that's cool to see.
Wait, where's the sidekick badges?
HPP. A couple people in your chat have got them. cool new feature that we put out this week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago at this point.
Yeah, the Sidekicks initiative is really cool.
What's up, Jay? Yeah. Yuppie in chat.
Wait, where's Yuppie?
There he is.
Wow, the man himself. Yuppie.
The OG.
Eddie, can you please get rid of viewbots? Yeah, viewbots is always like we talk about viewbots a lot, you know, across all the kick talks. It gets brought up a lot. You know, I think it's one of those things where you know, it is very difficult to solve once and for all, but it certainly is on our radar and something we're going to continue to make more difficult for people to kind of engage in. It's not healthy for the platform in any shape or form. You know, we're certainly looking to do better on that front. What's the Sidekicks? First time hearing about it. So Sidekicks was created for like, so obviously our moderation team is quite heavily English focused. And you know, the moderation team is also so big. So Sidekicks is kind of like it's kind of like a global moderator. Whilst they don't have the ability to mute people or ban people or do anything, you know, they're kind of like a trusted source for our moderation team to lean on for assistance in you know, moderating areas that they may not have full visibility on. So they're kind of like, you know, whilst they're not official Kick staff, they're kind of working with Kick to help keep the place, you know, safe and secure and, you know, all the community guidelines enforced, especially outside of the English market. So, you know, I think there's quite a few French sidekicks, quite a few German sidekicks, Spanish, Portuguese speaking. So sidekicks, yeah, definitely helping to assist, you know, keep the platform's guidelines enforced, which is great. But yeah, it's a new initiative rolling out. If you are really passionate about Kick and you love it, you know, I'd recommend hanging around the Discord. I think that's where a lot of them getting picked, right, Paulie?
Yeah, exactly. There's a Discord server for all the sidekicks.
Yeah, but I think like the way the sidekicks get picked, like is typically through like the Discord community, or
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think, you know, hang around.
Typically,
the Discord.
I think they grab them from like the general channel or the bugs channel of people that are often helping answer questions and things like that.
When will you implement a whisper or PM function on Kick? You know, we talked about this a little bit before. I don't think, you know, if you want to directly message someone, I don't think a streaming platform is the place to do that. You know, I think there's other places to DM people. So I don't think we have any plans to do it. I think it just opens up a whole can of worms, which is just not worth it, in honesty. Yeah, direct messaging and private messaging, it's, you know, from just a moderation perspective, it can lead to lots of issues. So I think, you know, back in the day before you had like 100 different avenues to talk to people and you know, Discord and everything, I think you know, whispers made sense, but nowadays I think less required. But yeah, I think we'll probably avoid that one just from a safety perspective mainly. Doctor disrespect. Well, yeah, I guess any type of situation, right? I don't know. It's the thing is, right, because if you want to moderate whispers, you have to sort of invade privacy as well. It becomes complicated. Like, I think nowadays social media platforms like certainly have a responsibility to kind of moderate direct messages. So, you know, you start having to like look into it, right? So, you know, it's kind of strange if you think about it, if you're, you know, forced to kind of moderate all these private messages and whatnot. Like, yeah, I know. I think we should just ignore that. We'll say, hey, Breezy, how you doing? There's a Kick streamer known as Nick White, KCIP verified with chatbots spamming racial slurs. Really? Nick White. When open Kick, I want that recommended channel which opens auto. That shit should be mute. I think it remembers the settings right, Paul, no?
In terms of the audio when you click on a channel?
You know, on the carousel?
Is that what the question was?
Yeah, I think that they'll say like when they load Kick, it just starts like screaming at them.
No, I mean, if you mute it, if you refresh the page, it should be muted.
Yeah, it should be muted first.
I think we would have heard about that a lot more if that wasn't the case.
Can we stream?
Yeah, I agree. That could be annoying.
Yeah, I've noticed whenever I load Kick, I never have it. It's never auto playing with volume.
Paulie, can you please bring back Discord announcements like back in the good old days? Yeah, for sure. I'll actually be posting something in there next week. So absolutely. Paulie, when will you have stream overviews to see your average subs, et cetera, like Twitch has? So that's part of like the new dashboard initiative. Part of like one of the bigger streams of work that we're doing right now with like basically curating all of our data so that you guys can have the same type of analytics that you'd expect to have like compared to some of our competitors, I would say. So we're working on that for sure. Ubot battle. Any thoughts on segmenting viewer number, viewer verified via phone versus other? Yeah, so like a shield mode type of thing for sure. Like we've definitely talked about internally. We used to have SMS enabled like when we first launched, but we had a problem with like some bot attacks on it, so we actually turned it off for a bit. But we have been looking into solutions to bring that back so that you can have different filters on chat, right? So like only people with verified phone numbers can chat. We've got another feature coming out soon that's like the age of account feature. So being able to say, hey, like only accounts that were created, over a week ago can chat. So that'll stop the people from like, once you ban somebody and they create a new account and come back in and troll, like they won't be able to do that anymore. So that is releasing really soon.
Is the Bring SJC Home to Kick for Christmas project in the pipelines? Free G7. It wasn't. Is it G8 now? Hey, there he is. There's Andrew. Yo, we got.
You're muted, Andrew.
We got no audio, man.
I like that hat though.
What's it say? Steel.
Yeah, it's like a out landscaping equipment service here in the States.
Yeah, I think we got this. We got steel here in Australia too. I don't know if it's huge, but it's definitely somewhat known. When are you going to do ads on Kick? Oh, soon. Definitely come eventually. I don't know. Make the most of no ads for the time being, though. I think no ads at the moment. It makes for a great viewing experience. It's awesome. So. Oh, still no luck, Andrew.
Nada.
Maybe I think it's your Discord settings. I'm guessing it's maybe not linked up.
Check.
There you go.
Boom. How about now?
You're good.
We got you.
Yeah. Sorry, gents. You guys are rock and rolling. I guess we figured out the daylight savings time thing just screwed me.
Yeah, that's I joined the Discord after the steak stream. I'm like, where is everyone? It's like empty. I'm like, what's going on?
I know. I got the push notification that you went live again, and I was like, that doesn't seem right.
So
Yo, Andrew.
I got on the good foot, and I got Yuppie in. IGYPC's coming.
Wait, but is the I think what the is WestCOL also an hour difference now, or?
Yeah, WestCOL's East Coast time too, so I'm getting in contact with his management. So I'm working it.
Oh, we can figure it out. We can well, we got Yuppie in Gypsy 1:30 a.m. Actually, to be fair, it's almost like kind of on schedule, so I think we'll be all right. Should be all good. All right, guys. Anyway, yeah, we had a bit of a false start here because we, again, as Andrew mentioned, we got the time zones a little bit messed up. But yeah, Andrew, you want to give a quick intro for today's episode as usual, or? Oh, we lost your audio again.
No, you're muted on Discord, it looks like. There you go.
Oh, no.
No, we lost it again.
Okay, when can we stream PS5 on Kick, Eddie? It's probably a little while off. We're on it though. You know, we hear you loud and clear on consoles. Big, priority for us. So yeah, just know that. But I think we'll be going forward trying to drop updates a little bit more strategically, in the sense of we won't kind of do a whole lot of talking about them. You kind of just wake up one day and boom, they're going to be there. Just like the TV app, I think it was a great example of, a really nice clean rollout. Obviously, I think it's so far been absolutely breaking a few numbers, which we'll discuss shortly. But rest assured, we got it. It's all happening. You struggling, Andrew? Fuck.
That's so weird. You just had it going. What happened?
Call Chris Travels. What's Chris Travels up to now?
No. It's usually I got these tech checks going on right now. So sorry about this, guys.
Wait, what is it? Tech checks?
Are you good?
Yeah, so around this time, I do tech checks with everyone that's coming into the lobbies and making sure that.
I don't know if it's my internet. I think
Andrew. Well, I think Andrew, you need to be doing your tech checks, man. You've changed background. You're in a new place, Andrew. You've moved houses.
Yeah, I think that's part of the issue, is just that I'm in a very new spot. It's killing me right now, so I apologize, guys. But I'm assuming you can hear me. I'm assuming everything's looking good. I'm looking at the live stream. It looks like we're all right.
We're good.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Chat, I apologize big time. My shit is scuffed right now. Celebrating 2 years this November on Kick.
Yeah, Andrew, I don't think it's working, man. We're gonna have to
breaking up.
I'm gonna have to cut you off there. Yeah, I think it's struggling. Your Discord is it's hard to keep up.
I think it's your internet.
Yeah, maybe it's definitely not my internet. I think I'm holding up. I think that's Andrew's. Yeah,
you're good. Yeah, got to be Andrew. Maybe you can, I don't know, try resetting your router, coming back in a few minutes.
Oh, was Yuppie for a sec?
I just saw a flash.
Hello?
Hello?
Got no idea what Andrew's doing. He's moving stuff around and just getting it rolling. How you doing, Yuppie?
There he is.
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
The man himself, he's back. Where'd you go? You disappeared.
Yeah, I did disappear for about 3 months or so. Just took a little break,
Okay, breaks are good.
Yeah.
You're getting ready for snow season to go back, getting the truck out.
We had snow on the ground the other day, and it was a couple inches of snow. It was pretty good. It's all gone now, but we're gonna be getting hit pretty soon.
When does the maple syrup season technically kick off for you?
It's towards the end of winter, so it's more like springtime when things start to warm up a little bit. But yeah, that's when the maple syrup season starts.
Nice.
Yeah, because all the maple trees have to freeze and then warm up. So you want cold nights, right, and that makes it run.
Yeah, Gypsy.
I'm not prepared for this.
There we go. We got you too.
No makeup on. I just woke up.
Yeah, we slightly.
I have my eye bags popping right now.
We made I think there was a tiny mistake on the time zones. We kind of Yeah, daylight savings is a very, very complicated thing to figure out.
It's okay. It's okay. I hope you guys don't mind my eye bags.
Yeah, you're good. You're
I
good.
hope this is This is appropriate, right? This is fine.
You can 100% get away with that. I love it. It's
Sweet.
awesome.
We're good. We're great then. We're fine.
Awesome. All right, hey, good to have you guys here. Sorry for the bit of the false alarm there, but we're here now. That's what matters. Hey, I just got like a few very quick questions for myself, and then hand over to you guys. Guys, if you don't know Gypsy and Yuppy, Yuppy was pretty much literally one of the first people on Kick. I don't even know how he found out about Kick. He was kind of just sitting here live on the platform, like, what the hell is this thing? I think it was called I think it was almost not even called kick.com at the time. I think it was called kick.live. Maybe even when Yuppy was on it, it was like a different URL. But anyway, we've got Gypsy as well. Gypsy, you came like maybe 2 months. You came in December, right? Or January?
2 months. Yuppy was actually the first person that I found on Kick, and was like, you know what, I'm going to ask this guy. He seems like he knows everything about Kick, and bam, he like helped me out pretty much.
Yeah, Yuppy was kind of obviously had the inside scoop of what was going on, kind of like back channeling a bit of info to Yuppy. It was like
he was my go-to every time. It's like, I'm going to go to Yuppy. He probably knows the answer.
Yeah, that was good times. Would launch a new feature or update something and just go check Yuppy's stream to see if he liked it or not. And we're like, all right, feature good. If Yuppy likes it, we're good. If Yuppy doesn't like it, we're in trouble. But yeah, thanks for coming on, guys. Like I said, got a couple of questions and hand it over to you. But you know, for Yuppy, maybe like looking back on these last couple of years, you know, it's been a pretty cool ride, right? What kind of stands out to you in terms of the last 2 years on Kick?
Probably just like the amount of growth. I mean, it's not, Kick isn't the biggest by any means, but it definitely made a move very quickly into becoming one of the top 3 platforms to live stream on, basically. Going from when I started about 10 live streamers on the entire platform to now we got a couple thousand every day live streaming. But just the slow and steady development of just all sorts of features that we kind of needed over time. And it just kept improving. And then as these big streamers started coming over, everything just started to fill out. Lots of learning, lots of events that happened that, whether good or bad, started to help fill out and shape the platform. Obviously, that's a big overview, but that's kind of the main things that stuck out to me, of course, turning into something that's legitimate.
I do want to piggyback off of what Yuppy said. It is a huge growth, and it's all about like really being patient. Everything takes time. Let's just be patient, guys. And there's one thing. I've lost my train of thoughts because you said it already, and I wanted to point it out. Dang it. See, this is what happens when you screw over.
Yeah, I'm going to say, before you can even have your first coffee, I don't even have
makeup on yet. I'm not ready. But like, it's fine. It's fine. But no, please continue.
No, I think in the last 2 years, I think it's been steady growth, right? I guess what it's, I honestly, one of my highlights, Yuppy, like we talked about it just before, like when I think of like the highlights of Kick, like it's honestly like those very early days, like back in like kind of November, December-ish, like, you know, back when things were moving very, very quickly, you know, it's kind of fast and choppy, you know, like I heard you mention there before about, you know, how things are nice and smooth and slow now and it's happening, it's getting along, but you know, when things are, you know, moving real quickly, being able to kind of, tune into your kind of like recap videos of updates and you know, the speculation around the signings and stuff. I remember that, like that's got a special place in my heart, a fond memory of the, of this, like it was kind of like the official news channel almost. And you'd have all the verified people kind of hanging out there and coming to you with speculation and rumors. And, you know, you kind of had this unbiased approach, right? Like we're good, like we communicated with you, but you kind of told it as it was. So honestly, like I look back at like the last 2 years, like the growth and all like the recent times, it's awesome to see the platform really filling out and growing out, like you mentioned. But some of those early days, I think it's easy to kind of look at the past with rose-colored glasses, as they say. But that was certainly pretty cool. I reckon I can speak for Paul too. Like that, I remember those were some pretty cool times with kind of Yuppie as the single point of feedback.
Yeah, I remember those days really well, like they were yesterday, but they were almost 2 years ago, which is kind of crazy at this point.
It was
but
crazy.
I also, I remember people also finding like early vulnerabilities, right? So like, we had just launched and people were, exposing things, and it's happening. They're saying it in Yuppie's chat, and I'm working with the devs. I'm like, we got to fix this right now. I remember, people just went on like this crazy name grab, right? So like just like registering every single name they could think of. We had like Google and YouTube, and I remember all these names people were registering, coming out with. But yeah, I mean, those were the early glory days. I'll never forget those days either.
Yeah, well, they were sitting in my channel just like, what names could we take? And they were all talking to each other.
Oh my gosh. I remember that.
Yeah, somebody got like the actual URL of YouTube, just youtube.com with the dot in it. And they were just typing in my chat. It was wild.
It was great. I loved it.
Yeah, it just like, I think at that point as well, you could get like 1-letter names and 2-letter names somehow as well. I think that was a thing. Yeah, they went pretty quickly though. On that though, Gypsy, you came over, right? But like you definitely already had like quite an established sort of community. Obviously, previously on Mixer, like even on Twitch, obviously. You're already pretty like well established in live streaming, right? Kind of what made you kind of choose Kick, apart from seeing Yuppie streaming and feeling awfully inspired by him? What kind of got you over here? Because that was a pivotal point for Kick as well. Because I know that when you came over, it was before a lot of people kind of voluntarily kind of came over, and it did start a big wave of that kind of first group of people to move, which was awesome.
So what happened actually was I was wrongfully banned on Twitch. It was just some staff members saw my stream. I was doing a subathon that time and they banned me. And I've been seeing a lot of Trainwreck's posts about Kick. So I'm like, it was honestly at my last stand. I was like, oh my gosh, this might be like the end of my career. And then when I saw Trainwreck's post about Kick, I was like, you know what? Let's try it out. And ever since I moved to Kick, never went back to Twitch. Even though they like emailed me and told me like, hey, we're sorry. We actually fired this guy because he's been banning like people out of no reason. And yeah, long story short, he used to be a TikTok staff member as well. And he was wrongfully just banning people here back and forth. So he was fired, but Twitch grabbed him. Now he was fired off of Twitch because he's been doing that on Twitch as well. Crazy. But yeah, I never went back to Twitch ever. Moved to Kick, stayed with Kick, believed in Kick, and ever since then, it's been great.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's been successful for me.
That's crazy. So someone was like out there like singling you out and like banning you for no reason. That's pretty full on. And that just like went on for ages.
For reasons for why, and then the other staff members looked over my stream and they're like, there's nothing wrong. Why did he do this?
Yeah. Oh, well, I think at the end of the day, it all worked out. Yeah, it's not exactly fair treatment. It sucks, but we're here now.
Oh yeah. It's still hard though, because my community members, they also follow other people. They also follow all other content creators. So it's hard to like move platforms because majority of them are all back on Twitch and most of them were back on Mixer. But then again, it's just all like moved around. But I still were able to get all my community to come to Kick. And I still do. I try to recruit like people and be like, hey, I'm telling you, give Kick a chance. Every platform has its pros and cons, especially Twitch. More cons. Just saying. Just saying. But yeah, it's been great for me. I have no complaints at all. it's just being patient with a platform and working with a platform.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I think the patience side is definitely it can be tough sometimes. Tough for take it streamers and viewers, and also internally as well. We want things to move as fast as possible sometimes, but it can be tough. It can be tough to kind of get them across the line. Getting things done in the right way. But on that question, maybe. On a scale, because you guys, again, you've been here since like all the way at the beginning, and you've kind of seen things go real quickly and then slow down a bit and then a few back steps, and you've been through all the waves, emotions, and hey, look, you're still here, which is fucking cool. How would you rate everything so far on Kickstarter? I want an honest response, because Yuppy, like I said, you're like source of truth here. I want to hear the truth here. On a scale of kind of 1 to 10, where you'd rate, how Kick's kind of done so far, given its kind of humble beginnings to where we're at now. And by the way, just mods, if we could quickly get some mutes here on all the people spamming the nonsense, it would be awesome to keep the chat on subject.
Well, so a scale 1 to 10 on how Kick is kind of done so far and stuff. Man, I want to say probably I'm thinking like 4 or 5. I'm thinking is kind of.
We'll take it. That's all right.
Because there's a lot of bumpy roads, and because I mentioned it a while in my stream before of. Especially when it comes to moderation for like the view of what the platform is, since the moderation wasn't kind of figured out, it's better now, but towards the start, it was very like all over the place. And because of that, it created that stigma of, oh, you're a Kick streamer, right? Even though that may not be exactly the case now, it still affects us today, and now it's like we have to do crowd control to be like, it's not like this anymore, and we have to try to defend that, but it's hard because that damage has already been done, and it's really difficult to come back from that.
I think it's going to take some time. I think time really will do that, because back on Mixer and on Twitch, early days of Mixer, early days of Twitch, it was horrible. It was just as horrible, maybe even worse, So I think it really does take a lot of freaking time, but I really agree with what Yuppy said.
Yeah, no, coming back to that, the moderation subject, and I think, there was, I guess, a lot of that kind of verbiage used around like, Kick streamer does X, Y, and Z, and then it kind of, definitely went on a bit of a roll from there, which has been damaging, right? It's been definitely difficult to kind of work through and weave through that narrative, especially for streamers, right? And I think, it always comes down to the same age, thing that I mention all the time. Like at the end of the day, right, 99.9% of people stream on Kick are so awesome. But the 0.1% that get put in the headlines sometimes make it a bit difficult. And at the end of the day, the kind of number one goal for us is to really ensure that, when you go, hey, look, I stream on Kick, you can kind of say it proudly. I always mention this again, like you don't want to be like, oh, you want to be careful of where you say you stream and be judged for it, because that kind of sucks, right? But, Gypsy's point, I think time heals it, definitely heals it. I think, we're certainly sort of adapted the moderation policy. I mentioned this a while back. It was kind of like, we'll get into streaming and we'll kind of go really light touch on moderation, and we're all kind of all for that. But, you quickly do realize why a lot of those community guidelines are, strict on other platforms, like why they exist. It's kind of a learning curve, right? It certainly is a learning curve. And I think the community also starts to learn as people kind of get banned and they go, oh shit, I can't push the barriers. And I think, I think also the clip farming stuff certainly didn't help. I think that this whole clip farming stuff that kind of happened in the last sort of, 12 months or so especially has kind of led to almost putting gasoline on the fire kind of situation, where you got people that are previously a little bit edgy, and they're like, oh wow, if I be real edgy, then I'll get like 1 billion views on TikTok or whatever, and it kind of led to some crazy shit going down. But I think we got under control. I think it's getting better. Do you feel it's getting better?
I do. It's getting better on my side, at least.
I think it's getting better. It still definitely attracts those individuals that are trying to be the new and up and coming, because I mean, even then, it's still some of the most viewed content on Kick to this day, right? Because Kick is so small, it's usually some of the biggest content with the most amount of viewership on Kick still. But it's getting better. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's matter of kind of just working through it, figuring out kind of how to best sort of attack those situations, get ahead of them too. But no, hear you loud and clear on that. So that's a solid 4 from Yuppie. We'll take it. Gypsy, what do you give us out of 10?
I'd give it 5.5.
5.5. Yeah, we'll take it as well.
6.
There we go. 6 even. Well, okay.
Hey,
beautiful.
Like I said, time only tells where Kick is going to be at, and there's so much room for so many other things, improvements, and more.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's multiple front sort of approach in terms of how we kind of go about it. I think obviously lots to gain from further increasing the product. Sort of locking down a lot of the moderation side. I do believe the fundamentals of Kick are more appealing than anything else. So once everything else is on lockdown, there's no reason not to give it a crack. So we'll get there. We'll try to increase those numbers next time we get to talk. But I guess if you do, because you guys came on like real early on, right? So like when you came on, you're probably like, oh, this thing might only be around for 2 months or 3 months. Like I guess at the end of the day, it must have outperformed initial expectations to an extent, right? Like obviously, it's all in all, it's you must have been like, okay, this is kind of like a bit of a shot in the dark sort of situation. The fact we're sitting here today is pretty cool, I think. I think most people back then, the vast majority of the conversation wasn't about like, oh, Kick streamer does X, Kick streamer does Y. It was like, Kick's gonna die. Like that was like the only conversation. They're like, Kick is not, it won't work. It's not gonna happen. Like live streaming's too expensive or this, that. There was like 100 of all the chit chat was around that, right? So, I guess, similarly to how that discussion kind of simmered down as time went on, I think, a lot of these other discussions which may be painting it in maybe this negative light, I guess, Gypsy, to your point, is it really is all about time, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are any questions I had for you guys. Did you maybe have a few things that you wanted to bring up, or?
I do have one question. This might be a Paulie question, though. I'm not sure. Knowing that there's new moderation team, are there any announceable changes in regards to the way Kick is transparently moderating, unlike the gray area that Twitch is basically getting heat for?
I'm not really too involved with the moderation side of things, honestly. I'm more focused on like product development.
Okay.
That's probably a better question for Ed or Andrew in terms of that side of things.
Okay.
So Gypsy, can you say that one more time? When you said Paulie, I started reading chat.
Look at the mustache. Damn. Okay, so knowing that because I wrote this down, and some of these questions are coming off of my community as well. I wanted to involve my community for all this stuff, because it's not just me who sees these things; it's everybody.
Mm.
But again, the question is, knowing there's a new moderation team, are there any announceable changes in regards to the way Kick is transparently moderating, unlike the gray area Twitch is currently receiving heat for?
So first and foremost, we haven't got a new moderation team. So the moderation team is the same team. It's just growing. It's just massively growing. We're bringing more and more people on board. So probably some fresh faces you might be seeing. But we haven't got a new moderation team. It's all the same. We've certainly got more advanced tooling to help with moderating, and we're kind of getting more defined processes. But I think that's one thing we've always done really well, is we've been very transparent about bans. Like I think the one thing you can do is the moment you do get banned, you can go appeal it and ask, like, what did I get banned for? And you'll be given the evidence, right? You'll be told you broke terms and conditions, terms of service, X, Y, and Z. Here's the clip. Here's this. Like, we're fully transparent around everything, right? So, I think we really led the way on that, and we actually forced some other platforms to sort of, revisit how they deal with bans actually, and tried to, I think, all in all for the industry led to a bit of, innovation in that sense, and the transparency that creators deserve. I think that, recently got announced on Twitch, for example, right? So, I think that's really important. I think it just, honestly, like, transparent communication is something that's so easy to do, right? We use this internally, not just like, for the Kick side, but for the whole company. Like, transparent communication, it leads to trust, it builds trust, it just solves so many problems. So, I don't see that ever being an issue. I think in terms of whenever we update the community guidelines, I think we'll try to. I think people always end up sort of analyzing it anyway, but maybe we could be a little bit more public about exactly what's changing. But over time, I think the way we kind of look at moderation is we just have to let the community guidelines and everything play out, right? Like, at the end of the day, you have to stay consistent. There can't be bias involved. It's we try to say you got to put emotions aside. The moderation team needs to put emotion aside. They have to put Twitter aside. They have to put X, Instagram, whatever, all the social media channels aside, and they've got to look at the community guidelines, and you moderate based on that. You don't look at CCV, you don't look at anything else. You just keep a standardized, non-emotional process. Like, it doesn't matter if the moderation team, hates this person, or Twitter hates this person. If they haven't broken the community guidelines, you can't ban them, right? But the moment they do, you do. Right. It doesn't matter who they are. So, that's kind of how we're basing the moderation around. And it's going really well, I think, to be honest with you. I think the team's doing a great job.
It really is. And I appreciate you guys for doing that.
Yeah, I think it works. Like,
cleaning up people's mess.
Yeah, sometimes it's tough as well, because sometimes, like, there'll be someone doing something really dumb and people are like, oh, this person should be banned because they did X, Y, and Z. And, we kind of go, fair enough, but the community guidelines, they didn't break. So then we go, hold on, we actually have to adapt the community guidelines. It's process-driven moderation opposed to emotionally driven moderation. Because I think when you kind of just go, okay, X is angry at us for X, Y, and Z, and we ban people for that, that's where the inconsistency starts, right? So, again, I think, we'll certainly want to avoid this idea of gray area. I think it's either like, it hopefully becomes either kind of, as much, black or white in that sense, opposed to gray,
right,
as we continue to develop that out. Right. So I don't know if that answered the question so much, but I think, we really want to avoid that situation that you mentioned. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And real quick, and hopefully you guys can hear me, but like, I see the entire time Yuppie smirking. All right. So I want to dig deeper into this. All right. Because this is important, because I think what Eddie is differentiating is important, is that everyone's a Monday morning quarterback, right? Oh, so-and-so should have got banned for this. So-and-so should have got banned for this. And then the pick-me's start to come out, right? Is, why did I get banned for that? And why isn't this person getting banned for this? And in the meantime, these pick-me's are picking and choosing their narrative, right? They're not sharing their clips that we shared with them of them blatantly doing X, Y, and Z, right? So I think that's the tricky part in navigating a lot of this. So if Yuppie or iGypsy, if you guys have any specific examples or anything, like, I think that these are things important to talk about, but I think it's important to also say, like, there's two sides of the coin, which is really, really dangerous. Until, like Kick is not in the business of shaming people. We're not going to go out there and say, like, if someone comes out on Twitter and says, look what they're doing to me and they're not doing to so-and-so, and in the back of our head, we're sitting there saying, geez, if you just saw the clips that we shared with you, everyone would totally understand why this person's being banned or being treated this way. But we're not in that business, right? It is up to the community on X, it's up to the community on Kick to be like, to look at this with a critical eye and being like, well, if Kick is trying to remain consistent, what are you not sharing with us, bro? What are you not being honest about? So I really want to push back on that, because the pick-me birds start to come out and it starts to shape the smirk that's on Yuppie's face. And I want to be completely transparent about what it is that we're talking about here.
I mean, to be honest, like, a lot of my smirks is from me just reading some chat messages too. But I mean, there's just some, I don't know. So I was in a Discord call last night with someone, and we just like to browse Kick sometimes just to see what we can find. And it doesn't take us very long. We go to some categories that we know are kind of iffy and stuff, and it's like really quick. We find some things that are a little, probably a little extreme, and I know it's against the terms of service. And so honestly, probably one thing would be when you press on the report button and you report, you choose the option. What is the process from that report button? Like when I press report on a stream, what is the first thing that happens? Does it go to the moderation team? Does it go to somebody that separates them? Like what's that process, if anybody can explain?
So yeah, every time you send through a report, it comes into like our back office version for sort of all moderators, and they have to be manually ticked off. Like it's either an action or no action taken. So every single report is reviewed. That's part of our trust and safety transparency report as well. So we kind of have the numbers to back that up, which is, I think we'll be releasing our H2 report in January, which will be kind of cool as per sort of requirements. But no, they are reviewed. Which section are you talking about mainly, just out of curiosity?
There's a lot of pools and hot tubs. VR chat is really bad too, quite a bit. I'm not sure some of the other categories. I would have had to check. There's some in just chatting, but it's not as much. So another question just built on that. What about spam reports? So if somebody reports the same channel multiple times, is there a timer on it before that happens, or what exactly?
So when you report someone, there's a timer on it being actioned, or
like if I report somebody, is there a timer before I can report them again, or can I just keep reporting them for different things that they've done, just to do a bunch of wasted reports on a channel just because I don't like them, for example?
Yeah, you can report it as many times as you want, but yeah, no, in our back office, we're able to quite easily differentiate between spam, right? If it's like, Yuppie reports his channel 85 times in 1 minute, we just, ignore. Yeah, you can, I guess there's ways to slow you down, but I don't think it's going to change the situation. So I think if you really want to make a point, you can keep reporting it over and over and over again. It'll certainly show up more. But I don't know if it'll change the outcome so much. But yeah, I think, I don't think that's, maybe that endpoint's rate limited to once every 10 seconds. So I'm not 100% sure, but it's definitely not something that we, avoid. But most reports should be dealt with almost in real time. I believe we're usually, unless it's like massive peak hour and we're seeing unprecedented kind of traffic and we're falling behind, they should be actioned hopefully pretty quickly.
Okay. Yeah, that was just some of the main things. But like I said, the moderation has definitely been better, or has been the best it's ever been lately. So.
Yeah, I think VR chat and pools and hot tubs are definitely ones that kind of fall into their own sort of unique situation, where I think, we've tried to be as lenient as we can to an extent, but yeah, again, I'm not exactly 100. The moderation stuff that I'm more so across is like the main channels. I guess they have their own kind of specific communities which are quite delicate and different, right? So hear you loud and clear on that. Might need to check up on the section and see how that's all going. But from what I understand, Andrew, we've been pretty consistent on the pools and hot tubs moderation. Maybe you've got something to mention there.
Yeah. So like, to give you history, right? So we are the first platform that gave clips and screenshots, right, to course correct. Let me just be absolutely transparent. On the other, when I used to work at a competitor, right, the reason why pools and hot tubs is so valuable, and the reason why Amaranth kept getting banned, and eventually a category was made, is because those streamers have 40-minute retention span. 40 minutes. The average good streamer has 5-minute retention span. Right? What does retention span means? That means someone's actively watching you for 5 minutes, right? The reason why they created an entire category on other platforms is because that category keeps people on platform. Flat out. That's just business. That's business 101 that I'm sharing with you right now. Like it or love it. That's the thing, right? The trick is how do you moderate that so that you create content that is worthy on being live streaming? Otherwise, go to another platform because there's other platforms for that type of content, right? And that's what our aim is, all right? Our aim is then we looked at the situation and we said, all right, well, how do we course correct this behavior? Well, we share screenshots, we share clips, and we say, hey, look, this is what you're doing that goes against TOS. Do you mind course correcting? Do you mind going to change your outfit? Do you mind not doing this kind of content that has no business here? All right. Now, that has lent to what might be perceived more leniency when people are looking at it. But what happens is we have open communication with these streamers and we say, this is what you need to change, right? And then they go and change it. But people don't follow that. People don't, that what they do is they clip off the bad behavior and they say, I can't believe this is not allowed on chat. And in this category, what they don't see is us actively working with them in course correcting the behavior and changing the mood. Now I will double down on that. This has gotten such great reception that we do it in chat roulette and we also do it in VR chat. We actively have open conversations with these folks and saying, this is what you're doing, please change it. And if they don't change it, then we take action, right? It's gotten so much great results that our competitors are now doing it and they're lauding it as their own. And this is what Eddie is talking about, that we're changing, we're disrupting the game. We're making it better for creators to be better communicated with. This is working out so well is that we're thinking about doing it for just chatting and the entire platform. All right. Because what ends up happening is people think twice about taking to Twitter and nailing themselves to a cross and saying, I can't believe that Kick did this to me. When you show them actually what they've done and they realize that you have screenshots and you have VODs of it, it changes the relationship really, really quick. Now, why haven't we done that yet? That takes scale. That takes manpower. That takes, we can do it with a few categories, but to do it platform wide, that takes a lot more manpower. It takes a lot more training. And the other thing is that if you have the wrong interaction in email or in chat, that thing gets screenshot and shared everywhere. And it becomes a totally different thing. But it doesn't mean that what we're doing isn't working because we're disrupting the industry. But I want to give you hard nose tacks, why these categories exist, how we're trying to change the game, and how we're trying to make it content that is suitable for live streaming. And if you want to do some other crazy content, whether it be hate speech or right-wing, whatever, or things that cross over into lewd pornographic behavior or smut films or stuff like that, there are other platforms for that, right? And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make Kick a competitor in the space while treating creators like adults.
Yeah. I mean, it works. It works for me. My main thing, a lot of my questions revolve around development, but that was just a couple little bit for moderation.
Yeah.
Okay, a little bit off topic on moderation, because I've been wanting an answer for this, because this is a good question. I did see that Kick TV was up. Kick TV app was up. Very exciting things. What are quality of life changes coming to Kick in the near future? For example, like server issues, modding features, competitor to Twitch's bits. I'm been waiting for that. Been waiting for that one. But yeah, what are like higher integrations, for example, with OBS or in the dashboard of OBS and stuff like that?
So I think I can actually kind of expand on that a little bit, because that's part of like one of my questions.
There's a lot more.
Right, because a lot of that
way more.
A lot of that would be like the development side of the platform. And we've talked about this. I mean, it's been talked about thousands of times in here and stuff. And a lot of it has to deal with kind of, probably this is two of my questions sort of, but the first part has to deal with like the API. Obviously, we've talked about API for a very long time. API would integrate with, OBS, your Stream Elements, Streamlabs, your games and stuff. They would be able to integrate with Kick a lot easier. We've talked about API, and it's been said that it's in the works for over the past year and a half now. I'm sure it's been revamped a lot and trying to figure out, but what is happening with the API? We've said that it's in development, but there hasn't been any proof of anything actually happening on that end. We've seen there's been some other platforms and stuff that's came and gone, and they had a rough version of an API already. Like they were able to get integrations just like that. So what is the deal with Kick in taking such a long period of time to get something like this to happen?
I could take that one if you want it.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a valid question. We have been talking about it, right, for like a year and a half. So I think like everybody's aware when we first built Kick, we built lean and mean, right? Like we were building fast, we were shipping new features, we grew like incredibly fast, right? And so our back end was built really quickly. We could have released an API within the first 3 months with the back end endpoints that we had made, but we knew that we were going to change the back end at some point, right? Like we knew we had to rebuild everything to be a platform for the next 5 to 10 years, not a platform for the next, 6 months. So ultimately, like consciously, we made that decision sort of like the end of last year, early this year, to just rebuild the entire backend. And that took a significant amount of time, a significant amount of resources, scaling the development team. So those original endpoints are not the same endpoints anymore. A lot of them are not. So we couldn't release a public API until we have all the endpoints that are ready. They're not going to change. We're not going to break people's integrations. So that is most likely like that's the real answer for why it's taking so long. It's just because we're rebuilding all the endpoints. Again, like we're not really big on timeframes here, but like the back end work is done. Like those endpoints aren't changing anymore. So we're very much getting towards the next steps now. To answer your question sort of broadly there, but like that's the main reason why it's taken so long. So like some of these other platforms I know you're talking about probably like that came and went. Like they spent probably a year or two building their platform before they went live, right? So they had all their back end done, they had all their endpoints done, they had their API done because it wasn't changing. So they said, hey, here's our endpoints, here's our integrations, you guys can work with us. We sort of went about it differently. Like we built super quick and we rebuilt everything, and now we're ready. We're getting towards the finish lines of starting to share those endpoints.
I think just to expand on that real quickly, Yuppie. So obviously, like, yeah, an API, like people do work on the API already, right? The API exists. Like people can build bots on the Kick API. The only thing we don't have is what we call like a documented or like a governance system around our API, right? That's kind of what we're missing. So, obviously a lot of people are already building on top of it. Like you can get every endpoint just by making requests and observing it in your network tab. So the API is there, but we just don't want to release a fully documented version that we weren't comfortable wasn't going to change or had the right governance around it. And that was because of the fact a lot of stuff had to be rebuilt. And then, if you start documenting stuff out and then you suddenly switch it over, then people go, hold on a second, I followed your documentation, now everything's broken. Like it wasn't the way to go. So, I think it's a common misconception that like we don't have an API. Like the API is there and you can build on Kick. It's just not publicly documented yet with a governance system in place, which is what we're working on. And, like Paul said, we don't want to go ahead and give deadlines and anything like that. But, the hard part's been done, to say the least. But again, it is definitely the most important aspect of what's next for Kick. I think after we get a public API out, and I think we can go a little bit better than just getting a public API out. I think we can go a bit further in truly incentivizing people to build incredible stuff on top of Kick. It'll, move things so much quicker, right? Because no longer you're waiting on first party updates, you can use third-party tooling to really just, fill those gaps almost immediately, right? So, feel the frustrations around that. I think, once we do get that, it's going to be a huge, huge step forward. So, the frustrations can completely understand though.
And to add to that, just to alleviate more concerns, we do have an API roundtable now, right? And a lot of people have been vocal about that. We have people like Mr. Boost. We have people like AeroKick. We have people like Livestream, Stream Elements. We do have a roundtable of about 8 to 12 developers that are currently working with our API team in launching this. So Eddie's teasing out that we are going to be supporting developers like we're supporting creators. You guys, it's going to be a thing, right? And not to give too much out there, but I want to give proof of life. There are people out there talking about this. That way you just don't have to take our word for it. You go ahead and hit up Pixel from AeroKick and be like, is this true what they're saying? Hit up Mr. Boost. Is this true what they're saying? Hit up anyone from Streamlabs or Stream Elements that you want to. They've been vocal about it. We do have a roundtable that's helping us launch this, and it's going to be tip top.
Okay.
Like in the chat, confirming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen a couple people confirming.
I promise I didn't flick you guys off. I just flicked off Biggie. Okay. I don't know if you guys saw that. I have one more question, and Yuppie, you can piggyback off of this one. Will Kick get ads in the near future, and will they? I apologize if I mentioned the purple platform a lot, but will Kick ads be here in the near future, and will they have a program similar to Twitch Turbo, which is paying Kick directly for subs for no ads?
Yeah, ads will come eventually for sure, right? We've been saying that since day dot. Right now Kick loses money. Once Kick adds ads, we hope to kind of, start to lower that delta and start to, move towards that road to sustainability and profitability, et cetera. So the ads is a big part of the play. When that comes though, I think it's very much about making sure that the ad system is built properly. I think a lot of people, you can go ahead, there's, Rumble comes to mind, they think they added ads and it's just like Google AdSense and you just kind of get like given a whole bunch of like really random AI ads and like the bottom of the barrel advertisers. That's kind of like the shortcut where you can add ads in like probably like, a couple of days. But, building out a proper advertising network and delivery system and doing so in a way which is, hopefully flexible. So we're able to really take data-driven decisions in how we can retain audience. At the end of the day, it's about finding that balance between ads that can serve people and serve their job of being able to help brands to get visibility, but also not scaring away viewers. So we want to make sure we get that right.
Exactly.
So it's a big project. I think almost like if you look at as Kick as a platform, like the live streaming platform is like one product, and the advertising part of it is like they're kind of two separate products almost. The way we kind of look at it, they're almost kind of separate projects. They're obviously, linked together, but getting that done right is going to be incredibly important. But I think it's also about choosing the right time. You can't start shoving ads down people's throats and expecting them
please.
Take all these ads until we've done better. We're not good enough to do that yet. The platform needs to be in a position whereby people are like, I'm cool with that. No worries. Show me a few ads. I'm okay with that. Because everything else works really smoothly. The API's out, Kicks are out. All these things that you're talking about are already there. The moderation is in a point where people are like really comfortable to use Kick. So therefore we can, afford to put that forward. I don't think we're in that state yet, right? And I think it'd be very, very naive of us, even though we're leaving money on the table, right? Every day that we don't add ads, we're leaving money on the table. Same with what we're able to kind of offer people the stream. So it's something we want to get to as soon as possible. But at the same time, executing properly versus sort of executing too quickly, as we've kind of seen in the past, is really going to be our sort of our motive and drive here. So we will stick to that. But yeah, your question about Turbo though, yeah, for sure. I think there's a price point where it makes sense, right? You kind of find that right price range where it's more beneficial for someone to take that on opposed to consume ads. You know, I think sure, definitely YouTube has that as well. I think they do a really good job with that. So we'll certainly have variation.
Yeah, I'm all for no ads. I mean, I love having no ads, and I love uninterruptedly watching people. But like, I know a lot of content creators, not everybody knows it, but a lot of content creators do make a little bit of money here and there through third-party things. You know what I mean? So like, for example, kicks, when kicks happen, a lot of people are going to be making profit off of that. Ads here and there, a little bit of profit off of that one. Another thing too, this is more of a fun thing to add into with Kick or the platform. Will there ever be exclusive like event, holiday, award, global emotes or badges and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think we badges and what we want to roll out there has been a discussion. It's not currently like roadmapped out, but I think, you know, finding a way to I think the first and foremost would be kind of finding a badge for like this, you know, some of the people who joined within a certain date range and you know, achieved a certain amount of criteria in a certain date range to kind of imply that they're one of the earliest, you know, people on the website. You know, I think, yeah, I think there's a way to introduce badges in a smart way that can really, you know, offer it up to the right people for the right things as well. I think, you know, a lot of what we want to be able to do is kind of I've spoken about this in a few other Kick talks, but you know, the idea of kind of trying to find ways to recognize what we call kind of like, you know, super community users, right? Like you got amazing streamers out there. Like you got all these really big streamers that come to mind who do the platform a lot of good, you know, like yourselves. But there's also really amazing community members out there who you know, positively contribute to tens, if not sometimes hundreds of communities a week and you know, truly sort of power users of the platform. I think, you know, also being able to kind of recognize those kind of users because they can't get verified, right? You know, they don't have their verification tick or anything of such. But, you know, a way to kind of almost, you know, look out for them too and show that they're just as valuable because it's sometimes those people that really make or break a platform, right? You need those people who are going to support streamers and stuff. So, you know, we really want to look at badges in a way to kind of definitely give back to the viewers, right? Because yeah, the viewers are sometimes the ones that get left behind a little bit in a lot of these sort of product updates. So yeah, 100% something we want to work towards, but I think it's just about kind of prioritization of what's really, really important at the moment. I think, you know, a lot of what has been mentioned, Kicks, API, yeah, I think channel points also comes to mind there. There's a few other things that are sort of top of the list right now and, you know, focal points.
Real quick, guys, we have about 10, 12 minutes before we bring WestCOL in. So I just want to give you guys a heads up. This has been an awesome conversation. And I was even listening to it while I was trying to get my tech up and going. So thank you guys for being here. And so
thank you for having us.
Yeah, I want to give you a heads up. We got 10 more minutes. If you got anything, I don't want you guys walking out of here and being like, I should have said this. I don't want your chat hanging you guys and saying, Yuppie, why didn't you come in with this? Gypsy, why didn't you come in with this? Right? Woulda, coulda, shoulda. And then I start reading about it on Twitter. We want to hear about it now, right? While we're here, for sure.
I got like a lot of things. I'm just going to fly through like everything that I have here in my notes. So the first one has to deal with PayPal. We had PayPal for like 2 days or 3 days or something like that. Then it went away. We were told saying that it was on PayPal's end, an issue there. And then that was the last thing that we heard about it. The next mention would be, we had the UI update that happened a little while ago now. It was on the 10th of September was when that update was announced. That changed the front page, the channel page, the categories and stuff, but it did not affect anything with the creator dashboard and all that. I know you mentioned it before I got in here a little bit, but, you know, just around that. And then we have mobile app sub buttons. Like I apparently it's Google and Apple's issue for people not having sub buttons on mobile. As well as I've heard Google resubs not actually paying out. And then the last thing is, what about the Kick mobile app live streaming? Because we've had that beta tested before, and it's been kind of quiet about that lately.
Hold on, what was the first question
That was a
again?
lot.
So you can take the PayPal. I can take the rest.
PayPal. Yeah, so PayPal was on their side, right? PayPal said that they weren't comfortable with certain components of the content in certain categories. I think it was pools and hot tubs actually. So there was a bit of a riff around that. We kind of went back to them and said, hold on a second, we want to be held to the same account, like the same levels as say like everyone else in this space. So we don't want to have to meet your needs when other people aren't. So we kind of held our firm ground on that. We could have just like gone, okay, we'll yes, no. We'll do whatever you want us to do, but we held our stand there. So, that's an ongoing discussion. I think, we just want to have the same standards as is requested on everyone. So that's where the PayPal one got kind of stood up for the time being. But I think we'll see eye to eye eventually with PayPal. It's integrated technically, but it isn't live on PayPal's end. So what was the next question?
The next one is about the UI.
Oh, Paulie,
the creator dashboard.
Yeah, I can cover them all. So there was dashboard, there was mobile streaming. What was the other one? Yep.
The mobile app sub buttons.
Okay. Yeah, so the dashboards, again, like we released the new front end. The dashboards require a little bit more work on the back end, right? So the moderation dashboard is something that's nearly done. The creator dashboard has a lot more pages on it, right? It's got like the achievements page, it's got the revenue page, it's got some new pages that we're thinking of adding, it's got all the analytics for for the creators. So that one required more back end work. So that's why those ones haven't been done yet. But I promise you, we're on it right now. Those are part of the top line items that we're working on. In terms of mobile streaming, right? So we built the mobile streaming feature on the current application as a beta version of it. So we had some creators test it. We were working on it. We found some issues with the latency and some core issues that we're working with our video provider on. And then we, during that time period as we were working on that, we were rebuilding the entire mobile apps again, right? So it became a decision on whether or not we wanted to launch this feature on the current mobile app or rebuild it again, on the new mobile apps. So instead of launching this feature, we sort of just tabled it for a bit and we're continuing to work on it again on the new mobile apps. That's not to say that those new mobile apps will launch with that feature, but it is a consideration, it is part of the build process. It's certainly something we know is critical and super important for streamers to kind of cut that friction in terms of going live from their phones. I think we built a pretty great feature there with the mobile streaming app. It's just going to be part of the new app and not the existing app, which we're, not entirely focused on right now. And then, as far as the sub buttons go on mobile, you're totally right. So there's a lot of friction there with the app stores. That's why it's so easy for us to just display the buttons on web, and then creators would be like, well, where's my sub button on mobile? So we have a queue of 1,500 sub buttons on Apple right now that we're working with them to kind of get them approved. It's a slow and tedious process with them. And you probably won't notice when 20 or 30 or 50 sub buttons get added to the mobile app because there's thousands of creators that get them, right? It's just a painstaking process with them that we're working to sort of optimize and speed up. But it is a bit out of our hands at this point. And, we're just trying to do what we can to unblock them.
Okay. I have two more things. One more was from my notes. One's from chat. Tabbing. I had a lot of people tell me about tabbing viewership still. They tested it. They said, I made a new account. I went live just to test this. I opened a ton of tabs in my stream and my viewer count went up to 30 or 40. Not sure if you can explain a bit more on that or.
Tabbing shouldn't work are you able to, if you're connecting from the same tab, it shouldn't count the viewership again. Obviously, if you're part of those networks where everyone kind of tabs each other up and all kind of work together, which again is not, thought highly of at all. I think you should definitely avoid those communities. They're kind of not worth it. But yeah, you shouldn't be able to tab your own viewership up. I don't think that should work. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know. I've just had reports of a bunch of people saying that it still does it for them. I'm not sure what exactly they're doing, but from my understanding, they're just opening a bunch of tabs of their stream just to figure out if it's still adding viewership, and they're saying it is.
If that's the case, that must be like a newly introduced bug. But I think it'd be obviously that was possible in the very early days of Kick. You could kind of just open 20 tabs and suddenly the viewership would go up. But that's been resolved now for like 18 months, I believe. I think if you're more creative and you work with these communities and stuff, sure you can get around it. But if that is the case, we might have to look into it because there might be a regression of sorts. I don't know. Maybe you can test it with your stream right now and just open 20 tabs.
I'll take it as an action item away from the call, and I'll check it out.
Yeah, I don't think that's possible. I don't think that's possible. I know tabbing communities exist, and I just want to use this as an opportunity to say, like, don't engage with those because those are just like a waste of time and don't help anything. It's not how things should work. But if that is a problem, Yuppie, we'll get that fixed up because we've already had a solution for that. Like you shouldn't be able to own tab yourself.
Yeah, Yuppie, we had to go in and, I mean, look, you've been on this platform for a while. And you know that there was a couple communities that were doing that big time. Big time. Yeah. Right? So we had to go in and we had to clean house. And a lot of the people that we cleaned house on still get very vocal, right? Still put out stuff that is just not accurate, right? And sometimes I think some of that stuff might come across your desk, right? But here's the deal, like, we had to go in and we had to bust that out. We learned a lot too from these things, right? So I think Eddie addressed it, in last Kick Talk. Like, Kick has the biggest incentive to buckle down on inflation of numbers because we don't run ads, right? Like, we want actual viewers on Kick. What we're not doing is we don't pass off impressions and we don't pass off botted viewers to our media buyers who are buying advertising, right, as views. Like, we're not in that business.
See, I would think it would be the opposite way around for me, but because like right now, since you're not selling those ads, there wouldn't be really a point to play with the viewership, so to say, to try to secure it compared to the other way around where like Twitch would do it.
Why would we pay out KCIP? Here's the deal. Why would we pay out KCIP and viewership as a component and then at the same time just bot? You get what I'm saying?
Right. From my experience, like the KCIP, whenever I did get view botted, would actually like be affected by the view bots, right? But losing my train of thought here. Like, it would actually get affected by the view bots, but sometimes it wouldn't, right? Sometimes it would be normal. But regardless, we'll move on to the next thing. Just my last final thing is people saying that Android auto-renewed subs not going through, like it's resubbing them, but they're not getting the money. It's something that
Is that one guy in chat mentioning that? I think he's something with a 1 in his name.
Yeah. I've had it's been that, but I've also had some other people who just literally could not resub, whether it was on desktop or not. They contact support, and support's like, they look into it and just can't find anything wrong. So it's something that you guys can't fix right now, but it's something I wanted to mention.
Just so I'm more clear about the issue. Sorry, Ed. So like someone subscribes on using the Android app, and then like the resubscription button, it doesn't resubscribe, or it resubscribes, but the creator is not getting the money when it resubscribes.
I believe that right there. I believe the resub goes through, but they don't actually get the money for it.
I haven't heard of that one, honestly. I feel like that would be a big problem that we would have heard of if that was true. Like, there's tens of thousands of subscriptions being renewed every month on Google, but we'll definitely check it out. Like payments we take extremely seriously here, and there's zero tolerance for money missing. So we'll definitely look at that.
But that's all I got.
Yeah, I'd like to reiterate that I think, if that was the case, like we'd definitely be across that, because the moment money's missing, people let us know very quickly, and people don't accept any any answer other than like, where's my money, right? So we'll take it seriously. We'll check in on that regardless, because that's payments, aiming into payments is important, right? You can't get that wrong.
Hey, real quick before we bring on WestCOL and wrap this up, I want to give a moment to YGYPC on any questions you got. And Yuppie, thanks for rifling all those off, man. Paulie, thanks for covering it. YGYPC, if you got anything juicy, let us know.
Nothing juicy, really, no. I think I let out all my juicy questions.
I would just say before you guys go, since you've been here since day one, obviously I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. But also, top 3 features that you want next. Just boom. What are your top 3?
Kicks. Kicks. And kicks. What about you, Yuppie? Kicks?
No. It'd be definitely API for sure.
API, yeah, for sure.
After that, the other 2 are just kind of in the air. Once you get API, third parties can kind of make up for everything that Kick's lacking until Kick integrates it themselves, right?
What about higher resolution?
So that's a great one. That's something that we've already experimented with. We've had a couple creators test it. We're having more creators test it, like 2K, 4K streaming. Mm-hmm. Most of that depends on like the creator's setup, though. Like you got to have a specific graphics card. You got to be able to support like higher bandwidth. You got to have the right internet. So it's kind of making sure that what they have matches what we have, and then making sure that the viewer can support it as well. But it's something that we're working on right now.
And channel points.
Yeah,
I know AeroKick has created channel points already, but Kick in general.
That's probably the most requested feature that we have right now. So it's top priority for us.
Sweet. Kicks, higher resolution, and channel points.
Hey, it's all coming. I think we saw it this week. Again, the TV app was a big step in the right direction. The new mobile apps, and there's a lot of stuff happening. And I think the big takeaway has been that we've completed that kind of big back end update that Paulie mentioned. But we've got a really good team. We've never been more confident about it. I think it's been a lot of lessons learned in the 2 years that you guys have been with Kick. We've kind of had to go kind of 1 step forward, 2 steps backwards, like 8 times over, and then we kind of had to play a lot of catch up. And it's been a wild journey on that product side and the development side and the engineering side. But I can confidently say we're going to have a lot more updates dropping out more frequently. Quality of life ones as well are really important. You mentioned that. Just basic quality of life stuff is super important. You can get caught up in these big features, the big stuff, but the small stuff adds up too. That's what really defines excellence and a well polished platform. So, there is a lot happening. I think even Paul, you mentioned in before, like bringing back the old Discord announcements, just like saying, "Hey, look, this is what we've done this week," and what's coming back, which would be kind of cool. Yeah. But I think just on the back of that, appreciate you guys sticking through it. It's I think it can be frustrating, and I want to say we share that frustration too. Like when you're kind of working on something like quite a lot and putting a whole bunch of time into stuff, and you're like, fuck, why can't the engineers move quicker, or why can't these guys move quicker? Like, why can't we solve this? It's just as frustrating, right? So certainly hear you on that. But, I like to think that the great technology, great products, they just honestly, they take time, and there has to be specific ways to go about things. And there's just shortcuts that you can't really take. But we're going to get there. We're going to get there. I promise you. And we'll keep on making progress. But once again though, I think it's incredible to find. I don't think we've ever talked on a call, right? Have we, YUPPY Gypsy? Is it the first time?
I think so.
I think.
Yeah.
the first time, yeah.
I feel like I've spoken to you because I've been in your chats like probably like 50 times in total and kind of like gone back and forth speaking.
It's comfortable. It's comfortable.
Yeah, it's about time finally had a proper call. So it's awesome and appreciate you guys coming on and coming on an hour earlier when we kind of fucked up those time zones.
No, it's all good. I appreciate you guys for having us.
I fucked up the time zone. So again, and this is the second time in a row. I think last year this thing happened. It used to be that me, Paulie, and Eddie just would come on and talk, and I think this might be the second year in a row that I screwed up. So I apologize big time. And then just real quick before we let you guys go, and just let Eddie have the final word to say bye to you guys, and we bring in WestCOL. But you guys mean the world to us, and you guys are representative of all the OGs that we had on the platform and that we still do have on the platform. You guys came in with the first class. You helped us build KCIP. You punched holes in a lot of things that we were doing. Gypsy, you were making videos for us to show people how to get onto Kick and how to set up their Kick channel. I will never forget that. Yuppie, every day. Listen, I got hired on here, but I laid low for like 3 months. And I learned everything that was going on out there through you, by listening to you every day, hopping in when you were making comments in Discord. What I really liked about you, man, is that you were tempered. I didn't feel like you had a personal agenda. I felt like you genuinely loved Kick. And I really appreciate those early days that you guys pioneered for and there was never this talk where it was like you guys were never looking for the next best thing. Do you get what I'm saying? You weren't. You were like invested on Kick, right? And that's why we brought you into the first class, is because you guys are vocal and you guys cared. But more importantly, like you never took what we were saying at face value. You always punched holes through it. So I just want to let the community know, because we're celebrating 2 years coming up in November, how important you guys are, just like Eddie and just like Paulie and just like the people who saw something in Kick in the very, very early days. And there's a lot of people in chat right now that you guys represent, that we funnel through you guys, right? So everyone in chat that was here with us from day one, like, we see you. And that's why we want to bring on people like Gypsy and Yuppie, because I wish we could bring on everybody. I wish that we could bring on everybody and just have a massive 2,000 person Discord, but we just can't. And that's why we bring on people like Yuppie and Gypsy. And that's why we have them in absolutely everything that we do. So I'm going to kick it over to Paulie and Eddie to give you guys your flowers, because you guys definitely deserve it. And then we'll bring on WestCOL.
I think you summed that up perfectly, right? I think it's, obviously, I don't think, Kick probably, I honestly don't know if Kick would have made it first month or two if it wasn't for Yuppie sitting there. It was kind of like the driving force almost, to be able to be like, we're going to build this and make Yuppie happy. Like, otherwise it would have been just like developing it for no one. Like, I think there's a good chance of being like, we won't even bother with this shit. But can seriously say that. And I think, having that support from you guys means a lot. So yeah, just echoing what Andrew mentioned, it's awesome.
One more fun fact about Yuppie is he received the first ever subscription on Kick. Well, he was the first person, once we launched subscriptions, to receive. I think that's a really cool stat and something that you could always take.
I remember that. We were waiting for his sub button. I remember being on his stream waiting for his sub button. I'm subbing. Let me sub.
Well, thanks, I hope to see you guys at the next DreamHack. Gypsy, I missed you last time. I think you had
I knew you were there, but I was like, where's Paulie?
But yeah,
when is Eddie going to be in any DreamHacks? That's the question. When is Eddie going to be in any of these conventions?
I'm just going to rock up unannounced and surprise you.
Please do. That'll be crazy. That'll be amazing.
Nah, I got to get out there. It looks epic. The last one was like crazy big. Like there was like you guys couldn't even get a group photo.
It's just getting better every year.
It's like Kick just took over.
Yeah, it was an incredible turnout. It was super humbling to see that amount of community members show up, and just the engagement with each other, the friends and family that they make is second to none. I mean, it was awesome.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for having us, guys. This was great.
Thank you.
Awesome. No sweat, guys.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have an awesome day.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Sweet. That was huge.
Yeah. No,
that's awesome.
I think when you kind of think of like two OGs, I don't think you can really, like, in fairness, think of anyone else but kind of Yuppie and Gypsy. So that was cool. I think Yuppie's he's straight to the point, man. He's blunt. That's why we've always loved him, which is great. Big shout out to Yuppie, and I hope I see Yuppie live more often again. I think he hasn't been live as much recently, but I think it'd be great to see him back as well.
Hell yeah. All right. So here's a moment that a lot of people have been waiting for in chat. Guys, we got WestCOL here. This guy just hit 1.4 million concurrent, just absolutely dominating what Kick is doing on the Latin American side. Hell, what Kick is doing in general. This guy ushered in so many folks over to Kick from the Latin American side, and he's been an amazing ambassador. Like, Eddie, is this the first time that you're going to be talking with him? Pretty much. I mean, live or anything like.
Yeah, no,
cool.
First time. We've got like a Discord group and a Telegram chat, I think, but first time having a real proper conversation. It can be epic.
Hell yeah. We got his manager on also, Carlos, who's going to be joining him. I think between my Spanish and Carlos's English, we'll have a good proper conversation. But Carlos definitely wanted to join. But let me drag these guys in real quick. And Paulie, man, like, I know you're busy and stuff like that, but if you want to stick around, man. I think it'd be great.
Yeah, I'll stick around. I'd like to talk a little bit about the TV app too at the end.
Hell yeah, man. Sounds good. All right. Here we go. Here we coming in. Carlos, WestCOL. Oye.
Hello. Eddie. Hello, we are here.
Nice. Tu cámara.
Okay, well, one moment.
Yeah. Eso, gracias.
How's it going?
Hi, guys. Everything good. We are now here in Mexico, in Cancun, in a holidays. Because we have some. WestCOL is going to start like a new life because he's going to get surgery in the knee. He has now a really bad knee, and he needs to get surgery and start like a 6-month process to recover like everything. So he's going to spend his last days like, partying, drinking, etc. And now he's
vacation.
well deserved vacation, to be fair. Wait, what is this? So like a knee reconstruction or something?
Yeah, it's something like that. It's a part of the knee is bad. He got injured playing a soccer match, a YouTuber soccer match in Spain, and he needs to recover that.
Wait, does that mean is that going to be more streaming or less streaming? That's going to be more streaming, right? You can't
more streaming. I think so. Yeah, because he's going to be recovering in the mornings and streaming in the afternoons. Más streaming. More streaming, less I think IRL, but more like video game series, etc.
Recuperation in the house.
Yeah, beautiful.
Nice.
Well, hopefully that goes well. That sounds, I guess it's best to get that fixed up. And I guess, if there's more streams whilst recuperating and resting up, that's going to be, I think everyone's going to be pretty happy with that. I guess, time to get the most out of the next few days though. So, enjoy the vacation in Cancun. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, we are about to finish it tomorrow and then come back to Medellin and start the new life in Medellin. Well, we have some travels because now WestCOL is in the music industry too. Mm-hmm. Like he has his own record label, etc., and it's been quite of success. And now there is the Grammys Awards in Miami, etc. And maybe we are going to be there, but he's going to be concentrating in streaming right now.
Awesome. I've just got a few very quick questions from my side, and then I thought maybe hand it over to you guys to kind of ask us anything you can and how we can kind of help to assist you. But, first thing, obviously, that comes to mind is Stream Fighters, right? Like this is obviously like redefined, it's been incredible. Yeah, absolutely incredible. What being able to be a part of that journey with you guys as well, especially the most recent one, has been absolutely insane. It started in 2022. What was kind of the secret recipe between like what made it? Because a lot of people do boxing events, right? People tried it, like a lot of people tried it, but you've done it on like a record growth, like insane growth. Like, how did you do this? How did you go so quickly?
Pues, en español.
Yo creo que es porque a todo el mundo le gusta ver cómo la gente se golpea.
Pero porque el nuestro tiene más éxito en general, que ha habido muchos eventos de boxeo en la plataforma.
Ah, bien. Yo creo que porque somos nosotros, huevón. Yo no sé. Yo tampoco, dígale que es que no tenemos explicación tampoco.
WestCOL didn't know exactly why our event is so successful. I think he thinks because he made the event and now he is a star, but we start this event 3 years ago in a gym, literally. We started, the first event was in a gym, second event was in an arena, and third event in an arena too. But the first one was really made with the nails, even some fighters need to sleep in a couch of his friends, etc. We didn't have budget for hotels, transportation, etc. Was everything made like in-house, very, very, very poor. And even I have to fight in the first event, but one streamer get injury, and so it was crazy.
You had to fight Carlos.
Yeah. I fought 3 years ago, because of
Did you
it
win?
was like everything was improvisation.
Did you win?
Yeah. I won.
Good, nice.
Dígale que el año que viene yo peleo para que esté preparado para clavar 3 millones de personas aquí.
Next year, WestCOL is going to fight, so be prepared to have more than 3 million or something like that.
Do you know?
Because
do you know who you're going to fight yet, or do you know the opponent?
No sabemos contra quién.
No sabemos todavía.
No.
Dígale que me ponga ahí un Ross que lo parto.
Contra Aiden, sí.
Aiden Ross.
Aiden Ross. That's too easy. You'll be that won't even be a fight. That'd be Okay, we gotta give you a proper opponent. Fuck.
Carlos, real quick, to something to go back on it that I heard. You guys did this with your friends. You did it organic. You did it authentic. And I think that's why it took off like it did, because it was fun for you and you put your blood, sweat, and tears into it. I think that authenticity is a lot of things that people will have a tough time capturing. Can you talk a little bit on that? Can WestCOL talk a little bit on that?
O sea, cree que el éxito fue porque nosotros lo hicimos sin esperar nada a cambio, fue muy auténtico, no había pues que son cosas preparadas, motivos comerciales, o sea que lo hicimos por amor.
Es que sí, también es que siempre ha sido pues no habíamos sacado, nunca hemos sacado ganancia de Stream Fighter, siempre lo hemos hecho por la gente, por la comunidad. También eso debe ser la razón por la que, y la disciplina, también todo el trabajo que va detrás del evento, lo hemos hecho bien hecho.
It's because we do the things without wait, like earn money from the things, because in Stream Fighters we have been losing money all the years with the event, and we keep doing the event because it represents for us more than a business, If we do things like a business, like the people is going to see it as a business, but we do it with love.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's probably what differentiates it a bit, right? I think when you look at things strictly like, okay, we need to make $10 today, or we need to make $100 today, or $1,000 today, or whatever that number is, suddenly your limitations around what you can achieve and how far you can push the boundaries are capped, right? But if you go, hold on a second, what if we, maybe take a bit of a loss, short term to medium term for the long term future and what you stand for, I guess that's, it takes true sort of entrepreneurial spirit to be able to stomach that and make that change. And I think, honestly, in the live streaming space, from a creative perspective, I think very few people have had that ability to do that. A few names come to mind of people who've been able to say, hold on, I'm going to invest in the brand, in the intellectual property into the future here and take like a short-term loss. Like most people can't really do that. So, it probably speaks volume as to why we're seeing 1.4 million viewers on the most recent one, is because you guys are just out there to make something incredible, right? It's not about just making a quick buck. It's not about making an easy buck. It's about making something amazing. And that's obviously testament to the mindset that you have. So, I'm sure at some point that's going to turn around, no doubt. Like it's gonna turn and you'll be making a lot of money, right? Like especially when you got that level of engagement.
Yeah, now we have proposals to do it in other countries, etc., because the brand, is now has a name. But the thing you mentioned about the entrepreneurial, like behavior WestCOL has, I think is the differential in his project to other streamers, because I think WestCOL could be the most entrepreneurial streamer in the world. He has a lot of companies, a lot of brands, a lot of employees, like 300, something like that in between his companies. And this is not normal for a streamer, because a streamer, sit in the computer and do content. But behind that, WestCOL has a lot of things to do. And this is because of this, we think that he's a good streamer, because his life is like frenetic and he has a lot of things to tell. He's not all the time in the computer, because if you're all the time in the computer, there is not a lot of things to tell the people. You need to feel and live these things to talk with the people with passion about that. I think this is the difference between WestCOL and other projects. And in Stream Fighters, like we have a proposal that WestCOL want to say, that apart to fight Aiden or something like that, but to do something with Aiden, like Aiden can choose 5 fighters and WestCOL is going to choose another 5, and we mix Latin American against a North American streamer to join at the first time, like the English-speaking community with the Spanish-speaking community.
Well, if you'd be keen to get that going, I could tell Aiden to buckle up. Aiden, you're off to do it. If you want to make that happen, we'll make that happen. This Aiden guy needs to stop being so lazy. He needs to. I think WestCOL needs to give Aiden a lesson on how to make good content and invest in good content. It'd be great.
Que tienes que enseñarle a Aiden Ross
cómo invertir en buen contenido, que es muy bajo. Aiden makes great content. I think we should make that happen though. English market meets Spanish market, like kind of boxing event. Yeah. You guys run the production and hell, we'll get Aiden to turn up. But we should make that happen. I don't know who Aiden's going to choose on the fighting bit. That could be pretty interesting, because to be fair, the people fighting in your event know what they're doing. Like there's definitely a difference between the English and the Spanish. It's like different levels of competency.
La gente de Aiden no cree que no los ve como deportistas o como tal.
Yeah.
But no, we are going to talk with Aiden about that. We have a good relation with Aiden and all his people. So we want to talk with Aiden and his managers, etc.
All right, that'd be awesome. I think we got to make. Well, you guys sound like you're already making it happen. But if you need help on that front or whatever, like I think that'd be awesome. Even if it was. Well, I guess you could even potentially look to bring it to the United States, right? Like I think you'd have huge audience there as well, right? Because there's so many people who probably watch from the US. You could probably sell out a whole arena in the States. Imagine that.
Miami.
Yeah, now 20% of United States population is Spanish speakers.
Yeah,
and in the 10 next years is going to be 40%. So we are into the business to do things in the US. We are talking with Aiden to do it in Miami. That is his hometown right now, and is the place where we go the most in the US. A part of this event, we was talking about like we want to do platform events. Like other platform has his signature events, video games events, etc., to have like the back of the platform to do these events. For example, now WestCOL is going to do a Minecraft event in December. We run all the event by around. We don't ask for anything, just like social network support, platform positioning, etc., etc. But I think it's really good for the platform to have these signatures events like other platform has in video games on other categories. What do you think about that?
So just to clarify there, so I'm on exactly the same page. You mean sort of like making it so that these events become more sort of officially aligned with the platform, or is it about embedding them into like the product, or is that what you mean?
Do you know like the concept like Twitch rivals?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that with the platform, with video games, with publishers. Like some of them are official with the publishers, or some of them are official with the streamers. Recently, we know that when the streamers organize some tournaments, etc., and they are backed by a publisher or by a platform, a lot of people pay attention to that, and a lot of streamers comes to the platform, and a lot of viewers comes to the platform just to the streamer to play, because it's something mandatory that if the event is backed by the platform, you need to stream in the platform. And then a lot of viewers want to see a lot of stars together, but the streamers are one by one, but when they come together and play together and do things together, the viewership grows a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. From like the platform perspective, like the moment you have like any form of collaboration, it's incredible, right? And you've seen it too. Like moment you start collaborating with other streamers, it's just got this kind of like snowball effect in terms of growing viewership, in terms of growing hype and momentum around the events, right? So we would love to get behind that. I'll be honest with you, when you mention kind of these events, we've tried putting forward a lot of times to work with whether it's large creators, sometimes it's with different kind of organizations to put forward these kind of official events, but it is very difficult to find reliable people to partner with on these, because at the end of the day, you need to have people who are going to execute on the vision and execute on the event in an efficient way, which works out very well, right? It's about having reliable partners that can do that. So we'd love the opportunity to look into that kind of collaboration, if that's kind of more in the Spanish speaking side, and if there's a way that we could support these events, it would be great. I think we have tried a lot on the English side to get this up and running. But with the backing of say, WestCOL, right? Like that would be huge. And then, making that more of an official sort of stance with the Kick brand backing that too, and how we can sort of bake that into being even like an annual event, or, again, we'd be really open and receptive to those ideas. We're very much, I like to think that it is up to the platform to put forward as much opportunity for creators to go ahead and to create the content that they're looking to work with, right? That's kind of the way that we can assist the most. So, if that's something you're looking for, I think we can certainly work with you on something there. That would be great. That's exactly the sort of things we're looking to do.
I'm going to translate to WestCOL. Ha dicho que este tipo de esfuerzos de eventos de plataforma y tal, ellos han estado más posicionándolo en el lado de habla inglesa, pero que están de acuerdo en el lado de habla hispana, y sobre todo, pues, si hay gente con iniciativa en hacerlos, que contemos con la plataforma, que les preguntemos, que hagamos...
Nosotros estamos con la iniciativa. Igual también hay que decirles que yo creo que ahorita está más fuerte habla hispana que habla inglesa.
Yeah, WestCOL is saying that right now he thinks that Spanish-speaking community is stronger than English-speaking community, because like all the big events, etc., are carried by the Spanish-speaking community. And WestCOL, he love do things, but he do love more be the first thing to do that things. So he's going to start with these events, with video games, with maybe another things. But we were talking in the bags with Akil, with Bryce, etc., to start with the first event in December, and I think we are going to have it. We announced it before, but we are going to have like the WestCOL Minecraft event in December, like the first official like partner with Kick, not only WestCOL by his own.
Awesome. Yeah. No, I think when you mentioned
then,
sorry, go on.
No, and then we are preparing another one in February. That this is another thing because this will be official with a publisher, with a video games publisher. That you mentioned that it's really difficult to have not only the people, but to have a publisher that wants to collaborate to create an event in a platform is really, really difficult because publishers are really, really difficult for that. But I think we are getting one.
Nice. Are you able to mention which one yet, or secret?
No, it's not. It's the biggest game in the history of Web3. So it's related to your business too.
Nice.
It's like it's called Off the Grid. It's a Call of Duty.
Yeah.
That now Ninja, Ninja the streamer has a skin into the game. We are trying to have the WestCOL skin. We are trying to do some things because it's a AAA video game. It's the first AAA video game in the history of Web3, and it's with all of Web2 interface. So there is no like the reject a lot of people have for Web3. So it's a good partnership for both parts, and the video game is really, really good video game.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think that really paves the way, not just for what you guys are doing, but for everyone else as well. Once you bring these publishers on board and get them comfortable with say a kick stream, it really starts to fire that up. Not just in the Spanish market, but also the English market and other markets. Whether that's Arabic, Turkish, anything, right? So. The fact that you can help to start that trend will be so highly beneficial to the broader community as well is amazing. But I completely agree with you. I think one thing we've witnessed as well was the Spanish market has just fully embraced like some of the most amazing ideas. You can tell I don't speak Spanish, so I can't understand what's being said. But you go into like different Spanish streams and the energy is really there. It's on another level. The community. It really is impressive. And I think Kick is just so fortunate. And, I mentioned this recently, right? I think, it's been heavily driven by the fact that you guys have seen so much success and backed Kick so early on. Over a year ago, WestCOL, you joined Kick, right? It was back when it was a very small website and sort of was the first sort of Spanish streamer on the website by yourself, right? And kind of drove a lot of this growth and the subsequent community engagement. And it's been incredible. I think the Spanish side of things is almost the poster child for how the rest of the platform should be working. So back to what you said before in terms of how Kick can support you on that front. We'd love to get behind you in all your efforts because I think you've proven that in terms of putting together amazing events, in terms of just simply putting in great effort and delivering on what you say you're going to do, like you've exceeded it, right? So at that point, it's like, you're a trusted third party. We want to work with you in any capacity we can. And, whether that's supporting Street Fighters or any other, idea that you have, like we're well and truly behind you. And I think, as you said, you're speaking to the likes of Akil, the likes of Bryce, and, they're going to be there every step of the way. So, that's awesome. And I think, we're happy to be able to assist at all, like, just say the words really, and we'll be there.
Que basta, o sea, que sigamos metiéndole, básicamente que vamos a tener respaldo de la plataforma, vamos a tener su respaldo para hacer este tipo de cosas. Y también hablo, pues que fuiste el primero en como dar el paso aquí cuando era una landing page, digamos, una página pequeña.
Bien que lo tenga ahí claro.
No, that he's happy. You to know he was like the very first into do this step to Kick, because at the beginning was really difficult. I told WestCOL, because WestCOL has an amazing engagement, and I told WestCOL he was the only people in the streaming world to do that, because his fans are really, really hardcore, another streamers, like big streamers, share a lot of community. But in one's conversation with Twitch told me that there is a very big mass in Twitch watching X name, another name, the big names of the guys. But then there is another people that only watch WestCOL. That WestCOL brings new people to the platform, and this was the key. The data to say, okay, we can step away from Twitch to Kick because we are going to have our own people. But then a lot of problems came because a lot of people accuse WestCOL from using bots, etc., etc. The first year was really difficult about that because they say like the WestCOL numbers was for the bots or something like that. And the other day, something amazing happens that I think never happened in the history of the platforms. That WestCOL was playing a Minecraft series, and he stopped stream and he say, "Hey, let's going to see another streamer that she was on Twitch." And when WestCOL stopped streaming, the girl was from 2K to 100K from Kick to Twitch just for the words. There is no a link. There is no a host. Just, hey, let's see this girl, because he was role playing with this girl, and 100 people with a single word came from. They need to close Kick and start Twitch and look for the channel. There is a lot of steps there, and now all the people is quiet about that.
Yeah,
no sé qué tan bueno sea decir que vimos un
pero ellos saben que no es un host y que bien. Probar que los viewers is to prove like all the viewers are real.
Yeah, I think naturally, right, when I think you move up so quickly and do such a great job and start overtaking people who've been sitting there for ages, like, nah, they're bots. So people get they kind of jump those conclusions, right? Obviously can't say too much, but, you have our full support when I say that, I can help disregard those comments about bots. Your audience is there and it's real. So, we know that, and we can help even confirm that too. So, I think, yeah, when you've got a non-platform raid hitting 100,000, that's impressive in itself.
This is crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
Hey, just the last question from my side was just like, obviously on this notion of what like Kick can do, like what is, what else can we do? Not just for you guys and for WestCOL, but just for like the LATAM and the Spanish speaking sort of community in general, because obviously like the more the Spanish community grows, it helps WestCOL, it helps everyone, right? It's like, what do you reckon we should be focusing on in that term? Obviously you mentioned the events and getting behind these events and trying to make them more official, like, the Twitch Rivals I think is a great idea and a great sort of concept to mold around. But is there anything else that you recommend us kind of potentially focusing on?
¿Qué más pueden hacer ellos por la comunidad de habla hispana en general? ¿A qué crees que puede ser un próximo buen paso?
Bueno,
¿O algo que hace falta?
Yo creo que ya con que estén trayendo tantos streamers, la verdad, los fichajes que han hecho pues de los nuevos streamers han ayudado mucho pues a que crezca la comunidad. Han ayudado pues también con el patrocinio de Stream Fighter y con los eventos. Yo creo que eventos como los que estamos diciendo de hacer así parecido a los rivals de Twitch, eso ayuda mucho, pero también hay que decirles que nosotros queremos hacer los Kick Awards. O sea, yo quiero ser el que lo haga, el presentador, ¿sí me entiende?
Okay.
El oficial, pues, que me lo den a mí y nosotros nos encargamos de eso y que nos ayuden para hacer los Kick Awards, dando los premios, que eso pues también nos une como comunidad.
¿Y algo como de la plataforma?
Es que la plataforma está en fase beta. Yo creo que regulación de los bots, porque en realidad hay mucha gente que pues, los tiene. El tema de la plataforma en cuanto al funcionamiento. Cuando mucha gente escribe, se cae el chat, el almacenamiento en buffer, que eso todavía nadie sabe qué es. Pero en general, que el dueño esté aquí hablando con nosotros, ya eso es que nos escuchan, ¿sí me entienden? Entonces ya uno puede ir pidiendo, dando las peticiones a medida de que uno va viendo problemas.
In general, WestCOL is happy about the performance of the platform in terms of you are bringing a lot of people, a lot of Spanish-speaking people, and he thinks that this is going to happen more and more and more because big part of the platform is to be trustable, and now Kik is being more and more and more and more trustable in terms of security, technology, etc., etc. He feels sometimes when he has like a really, really speedy chat that the platforms collapse a bit, or the computers of the people collapse a bit. Because, for example, yesterday we have here in this laptop, and before he started streaming, but the people know he was to start, the chat start to explode and the laptop start to, to sound like that. So I don't know if this is some performance issues there, or is because there is a lot of traffic and it's really, really difficult to stop that. This is in terms of technology. He asked too if you are going to, you think into put some tokens or some points, etc., in the platform to do donations, to send messages, etc., etc. And then about the events, he thinks that is a good idea to have like the awards, like official Kik awards for Spanish speaking or for English speaking or both, etc., etc. That I think is better to do like separated. And last thing he said was about the two in the panel of statics and geographics, etc., to know where are your viewers, ages, genders, etc.
So on the very first point there with the performance side, I think I might know what will be happening on that side is that it comes back to the creator dashboard and the mod dashboard not being put into the new code base. I think yeah, that there we hopefully have a solution for very soon. It's a performance problem that we are aware of, that if you're watching from your creator dashboard, it's not optimized the same way it is optimized for chat. But again, chat in general and optimizing that further and further, I think, WestCOL, your chat is a level of speed that is testing the barriers, right? So your chat will fall down first before we even know the issue exists. It's kind of we kind of prepare to have, okay, well, we can support, say, 50,000 messages in a second, and then you'll go ahead and get 100,000 in a second somehow, and then it's like, oh no. So you're kind of the first.
WestCOL channel is a stress test for the platform.
Unfortunately, it kind of is. Like, we don't want that to be the case by any means. We want to avoid that, but yeah, at the moment it kind of is by all metrics. But yeah, performance ongoing. Something we're really, really, really working towards. You mentioned like the streamer awards. I think that'd be epic if we could do something like that. I think that goes across. I think obviously, the other platforms have their own sort of awards, and I think having something, more dedicated or more focused around Kik. Again, I think it really comes down to having someone who can execute on this, right? Like we need those trusted parties, and again, you guys have proven that with Street Fighters that you can pull off these kind of things. Maybe that's a collaboration we could do. Maybe that's a matter of getting, again, the likes of someone from the English market, the Spanish market, and kind of pulling that off and having you guys put that together. Maybe we should partner up on something like that. That would be awesome. What was the other two? What was the other 2 points as well? Sorry, there was 2 more.
About the token.
Oh, so the
token, like the coin token, or some things
like Kicks, like a smaller denomination instead of just gifted subs. Yeah, we were just talking about that with YUPPY and IGYPC, who were on Kik Talk just before. Yeah, we're working on that. We've got that moving ahead. Obviously, yeah, the $5 per gifted sub or subscription is a lot. So trying to bring that down to, as low as a cent, right, would be great to be able to then, interact with then other areas such as like, text to speech and hype trains and other engagement tools as well, which can really sort of link into that. So that'll then kind of link in hopefully with the public API and be sort of a way in which you can then integrate way more sort of interactive measures between the viewer and the streamer. So yeah, hear you loud and clear on that one. We're working on that 100%. That's that'll be that. I think that's one of the biggest missing parts that the Kick currently has, is that sort of ability to send lower denominations of currency or US dollars or whatever. But B also that sort of API layer with the being able to then interact with other areas, whether that's text on screen and alerts and everything else. But that'll hopefully be very much solved through the public API project we're working on right now.
Okay. In this sense, are you going to implement more local method of payments into the platform?
Y PayPal en general.
PayPal and but there, in Latin America there's a lot of local payment methods because a lot of population is not bankarized. And for example, like now I think in Colombia state has a lot of method of payments, but they are not in Kick.
Yeah, no, localizing payments is a huge one. Like, yeah, obviously, in Colombia, right, you guys have, Visa and MasterCard is not as big as, like, say, I think you mentioned did you mention Much Better as one?
He mentioned PayPal, but it's not
PayPal,
as big too. There is another like local, because there is a lot of people with cash, but not with credit card or bank account, and they go to some places that there is like thousands and thousands of these places, and they can like charge his phone, pay his internet, pay like everything. Like in Latin America works like that. There is a lot of cash and a few credit cards.
Yeah. No,
Los jóvenes no tienen tarjeta aquí igual.
See, like young people don't have a credit card.
Effective.
We got to get that sorted. We got to get that sorted. I think, like you mentioned on State Colombia, we've got all those payment methods, but yeah, Kick not quite yet. But similar to that, we want to get all the localization there. Yeah, super, super important. And PayPal, we were discussing a little bit just before as well. We're going to try to get that over the line with them as well. Would be huge. But I think more important than PayPal is having the local payment methods, right? The ones that are actually used. But that's not just for Colombia, right? I think that's also for Chile, for Argentina, all Latin American countries, understanding that there is a lot of other payment methods that are really, 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 really important. Otherwise, people just won't, subscribe. They won't send, the equivalent of bits or they won't interact, right? Yeah. I think that's really important. Obviously, maybe less important for you guys, but really important for the smaller streamers. The people with 50, 100 viewers and building out that community, right? It's super important for that. So certainly recognize that gap. We're gonna fill that, and yeah, payments wise, you've seen it obviously on State Colombia. We'll have at least that, if not more, for Kick and for the localized variations.
Sí, que van a meterle a los métodos de pago locales que normalmente el mundo anglosajón con Visa, Mastercard y PayPal ya lo tienes todo hecho, porque todo el mundo tiene alguno de esos tres, pero pues aquí es muy diferente. And the last one was about the stats panel.
Oh, yeah.
For example, me as a manager, I try to get campaigns for the streamers, and it's really difficult if you cannot show, hey, this is my audience, this is the target, this is the gender, this is the geographics, etc., etc.
Yeah,
eso es muy importante.
Yeah, no, hear you loud and clear on that one. That's kind of part of this larger project around how that we collect data and analyze data, which is happening kind of right now and being planned out. So yeah, that there will certainly be a solution. I think, to begin with, it'll kind of be just, obviously right now there's streams charts and third-party sort of tools which track streams, but that's not good enough, right? It has to be on Kick. It has to be available on Kick. And the granularity of the data has to be perfect, right? This is a part of kind of a bigger project which links in channel points in a couple of other areas. But yeah, I think, if you, Carlos, if you have specific metrics that you're looking for, like you said, whether that's age, demographic, location, whether that's gender, all that kind of stuff, maybe kind of mention that as well, just so we can ensure that we're on the front foot in collecting that data and making sure that we will have that available when required. Just kind of mentioning, because we are building all that out right now. Getting the foundation built to be able to offer as much information as possible. I think with Kick, a lot of what we want to do is really open up a lot of this, the same way we offer the 95/5 sub-split and all these favorable terms for streamers, we want to open up as much of this kind of like black box that has existed previously, right? Share as much data with you, give you as many tools to succeed as possible, go above and beyond what is even requested. So I think, if there is anything specifically you need on that front that makes sense and sits within sort of reasonable privacy sort of realms, then definitely let us know, and we can start making sure we roadmap that out as like part of the MVP.
Sure, no, and this is not only for commercial purpose that it helps, but for example, WestCOL in the last month he earned like 500,000 new followers because he was in a Minecraft series, a big one, and it's awesome to know, hey, these guys come from Mexico or from Argentina, from Chile, because we can drive strategies to keep growing and to reach this audience and to be more global. I think this is key for little streamers too, to grow. It's not only to sell, it's to grow. And another basic thing like hours counter. Because we don't know exactly how many hours we have in the month, and stream charts is okay, but it's not like accurate.
Yeah, no, we're gonna hopefully get all that one across the line very, very soon. Hear you loud and clear. I think it's not just about the commercial side, but knowing, hey, look, we did this massive event. Like, did it actually get us the right returns? Like, being able to gauge that analytics. It's just data-driven decision making, right? Which can naturally really impact and help you understand which direction you want to head in. So yeah, we're working on that. We understand that streams charts and third-party tools aren't good enough. You need to have as much in-depth data as possible. So leave that with us. We haven't forgotten about that by any means.
The last things, like I see a lot of people writing that, is about how do you think or are you thinking to implement some IA tools into the platform, like in real in live translation or something like that?
Me dices cuando yo pueda hacer mis peticiones.
Okay. At the end, he's going to ask for things.
Yeah, I think the live translations is something we've actually done a bit of a proof of concept around, right, Paul? There's, I think, we've got something up and running already where we've actually started experimenting with that a little bit, and it's been kind of successful. So that's going to be awesome. If we can find a way to bridge the gap between like all these different communities, it's going to be huge, right? Because there's, even for me, like I can't watch a WestCOL stream. I don't know what's going on. I can see it's entertaining. I can see everyone having fun, but I can't understand it, right? So I think that'd be a great way to kind of bridge these audiences. And we're actually making a bit of progress on that. So, expect that at some point for sure. I think it's now possible with the power of, AI and all this new technology that's coming around. It's certainly possible.
Perfecto. O sea, sí, porque este tipo de inteligencia artificial va a cambiar mucho las plataformas y se van a meter varias cosas.
Van a utilizar inteligencia artificial como para traducción en tiempo real.
Traducción, están viendo todas esas características, todas esas herramientas.
Bueno, yo quiero que le pregunte, o sea, que le digas que cuando, o sea, me imagino que van a implementar anuncios en algún momento.
One thing that I forgot to mention, something important that is so grateful to have you guys, the top executive of Kick, and even the owner in a chat with streamers like that. I forget to say that before, but WestCOL say that about the good things that the platform is doing. And after that, now WestCOL is going to add some things. O sea, le he dicho que antes no lo dije, que tú habías dicho que una de las cosas buenas era, joder, que tienes aquí al dueño, tienes aquí a los ejecutivos top de la plataforma hablando con uno para pedir feedback. Eso no lo había dicho antes, que se me olvidó.
Bien. Pero pregúntale lo de... A ver, yo primero quiero saber si ellos están pensando en implementar anuncios. Y si están pensando en implementar anuncios, pues obviamente eso le ayuda a los streamers pequeños más que todo para pues que tengan un nuevo otro ingreso, pero que si lo van a hacer en algún momento, que el streamer decida si pone o no pone anuncios, que el mismo streamer decida si pone o no pone anuncios en su canal.
Okay.
¿Cuánto? ¿Sí me entiendes? Eso no decir, voy a poner 3 anuncios cada hora, 10, pero que el streamer tome la decisión si pone o no pone anuncios.
Okay. He's asking about if you are going to implement ads in the platform, which way, and if it's possible, in the case we have ads on Kick, to have a panel like to administrate that. If some streamer don't want to have ads, I don't want. If one streamer want to have 1 minute, an hour, 3 minutes, etc., etc.
Yeah, that's a really good point. We were discussing that a little bit on the previous call as well. Adding ads is in itself a really big project. It has to be executed correctly. We at some point Kick will have advertisements, but adding advertisements in a way that is done as well as possible to ensure it doesn't damage viewer experience as heavily as possible, whilst also maximizing profits, which can then be shared with the streamer as well, is really, really important. So I think what you mentioned there is the flexibility and the tooling that's required to make sure that you have control over it. We'll definitely allow as much control as possible. We'll have to have some guidelines around what it's going to look like. I can't kind of promise anything, but I think realistically, if somebody wants to run no ads, that should be a discussion that they should be able to have potentially based on circumstances. If that's a conscious decision, if you want to have 1 minute, then of course I think it's about adding as much flexibility to suit the stream, right, and suit the individual. So to answer the question, really, the way that we're going to go about this isn't about we won't move very quickly on ads and half bake it so it's a bad solution. We'll integrate it very carefully and ensure that it's done in a very surgical manner to ensure that all these problems are already pre-solved. It's a huge project for us, and we want to go very slow and make sure that it's done properly. So certainly when this comes out, it'll be at minimum allow you that flexibility to choose the velocity or the volume of ads.
Ok, dice que, implementar ads, anuncios de la plataforma es un proyecto muy grande.
Claro.
Que no pueden coger y hacerlo así a la ligera.
Obvio.
Que quieren cuidar mucho, ya no solo el tema de poner publicidad, sino cómo se pone la publicidad, para que no interrumpa la experiencia del que lo está viendo.
Okay.
Pueden ser otro tipo, a lo mejor sale el anuncio o arriba el chat, o sale un pop-up dentro de la transmisión, o son ads que no tengan sonido y que todo sea con subtítulos o cosas así, pero que puedas hacer clic igual, para que si sale una publicidad y no quieres verla, pues es fácil pasar o que no te interrumpa en algún momento. Y sobre todo, pues también eso, que el streamer pueda elegir, porque pues eso puede ayudar a muchos streamers pequeños,
claro,
que no tienen otra monetización.
Obvio, bien. Me parece excelente, weón. Pregúntales, o sea, ya puedo hacer entonces
Lo que quieras.
Bueno, yo quiero que le digas que, así como yo confié en Kick la primera vez.
Santa Maria, do you understand the Spanish like at all or not?
Oh yeah, I hear the slang being thrown in huevón and all that. Yeah, sí. Todo bien. Qué bueno.
Quiero que le digas que así como yo confié en Kick la primera vez,
sí,
quiero que ellos confíen en mí y el contrato que yo tengo me lo renueven por 2 años.
No, pero eso ya lo hablamos en privado.
No, dilo aquí para que lo comprometas. Y tras de eso, tienes que decirle que es que eso también le da mucha confianza a otros streamers, porque como hubieron varios fracasos de plataformas, hay muchos streamers que no se pasan porque piensan que se va a acabar. Y si ellos dicen, mira, WestCOL está fichado por 2 años, van a querer venir más a la plataforma, hágales preces.
Okay. He's saying that as WestCOL trust on Kick at the first time, now he has Kick trust on him and renew his contract for 2 years. Not because it's only a like an individual petition, because it's going to give more trustability to the platform and to other big streamers to come to the platform. As we have lived a lot of failures in other platforms, because the short term thing in the platform is the live proof to the platform is going to be like in the time.
I think that's a reasonable request. I think, obviously you speak with Bryce at the moment around this. Is that main point of contact or?
For me, Bryce is the main contact. We are both from Spain, and when I saw his name, that is a particular name from a particular area of Spain, I thought, what the fuck, this guy is from Spain. I thought all you guys were from Australia or the US, and I wrote Bryce in a like private message, and I thought, what the fuck, your name, you are from near to my city. And we start a good relation. And yes, Bryce is my main point on Kick.
Okay, well, I think I pose the question, and I think we can make something happen. I think it's the least we can do for what you put in so far, right? I think again, the idea of Kick being long term, that's we're thinking only sort of the next 5-10 years when we're kind of trying to plan things out here, right? I think, when Kick first launched, we were like, this thing will disappear in 3 to 6 months. Now it's been 2 years now, right? And we're only just getting started, right? We're seeing great growth, and we're seeing a lot of really amazing opportunities pop up. So, reassurance is what you need. I think we can find a way to do that. I think that's like I said, the least we can do for what you guys have achieved so far with us, and the trust that you've put into Kick, right? So. I think it's a mutual relationship. I think we can make something happen there. I think that's a very reasonable ask.
Dice que es una petición razonable, que él sabe todo lo que hemos hecho por Kick y que sí, que es algo que se puede hablar y que es algo que también pues sí le puede dar confianza a otra gente en la plataforma.
Claro, entonces ya lo hablamos después. También quiero que le digas que si tienen pensado hacer digamos, premios por llegar a 1 millón de seguidores, placas.
Okay.
Yo quiero la mía.
He told like, okay, we talk later. And then if you have think about to make some rewards, like for followers, watch hours, something like that. To have in the setup,
like
streamers love to have this.
I think we got some stuff coming pretty soon. I know what you're talking about. I think we've got some stuff. We've got some stuff we're working on there.
Okay, perfect.
You'll have all the records.
Claro.
You'll be stress testing that too, whereas we have to make more.
Pues que tenemos todos los récords que
sí.
nos darán.
Ya me están haciendo las placas entonces.
Sí.
Bueno, bien. Gracias, dígale gracias. Thank you.
No, I think, ¿tú tienes alguna pregunta más o estamos?
Bueno, pues no, la verdad, pues también, yo porque no sé decirle, pero hay que agradecerle porque eso no se ve mucho que el owner de una plataforma esté hablando directamente con los streamers porque, está interesado, weón, en el crecimiento de la plataforma. Y pues si vamos a finalizar ya, decirle eso, que gracias por estar acá, por ti, y que no vaya a hacer lo que hacen muchas plataformas, que es cuando la plataforma crece y se pega, se desaparece. Y ahí sí ya no, ¿sí me entiende? Porque es que claro, como estamos en el comienzo, cuando uno está creciendo y está en el comienzo, todo es color de rosa. Sí. Pero ya cuando me pegan, esperemos pues que sea así siempre, ¿sí me entiende?
Yeah, no, he's saying that he's very grateful with you guys, with the platform, like with everything that is happening. And just like an advice, to take care, like when platforms go big, they forget, the creators, the support is like is not existing in some platforms. I think for this is the key to keep the platform growing. Like the streamers feel the platform close to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think we know exactly what you mean there. I think the same way. Just before you guys came on, we had YUPPY and YUPPY on. YUPPY is an English streamer. YUPPY gets between 20 to 100 viewers, maybe, like depending. Very small streamer. We talk to him every day. He was the first streamer, first person to receive sub, on Kick ever. Like, I think we understanding where.
Tiene 20 viewers, 100 viewers.
Uy, gonorrea.
Yeah, so I think understanding, who came on this journey with us, it is really important. I think it kind of shows who you are as a company, right? It's about building that trust, right? And I think when you forget about where you come from and how you got there, I think that is indicative of lack of trust, and I think it sets a really terrible precedent. So we're certainly we're not going to go down that pathway by any means. Yeah, that's just not how we operate as humans. Even I think it's just basic respect, right? And I think companies that operate that way, I don't know on what merit that's based on, but it's I think it's no way to retain people. And I think obviously that's why why we're here is probably because lack of that continued respect of the relationship between you and other platforms, right? And I'm sure that that's a mistake on their side. It's very easy to show respect, right? And to continue to engage with the right people and understand exactly how you got somewhere. So actions speak louder than words in this regard, but I promise you that's how we're built, and we understand how important it is to not forget that.
Sí, Eddie ha dicho entonces que ellos van a cuidar mucho esa parte de la plataforma,
sí,
de que el trato sea lo más personalizado posible, que no porque crezcan mucho va a parecer solo bots de soporte y que sea así capaz de comunicarte en algún punto de la plataforma. El streamer que estaba antes, que es un streamer pequeño que tiene entre 20 y 100 viewers, fue el streamer que como el primero
Qué duro,
que firmó en la plataforma
y que,
claro, y que es alguien pequeño y que él sigue y dice que hablan con él casi todos los días para temas de feedback y de tal de la plataforma, pues también obviamente por ser el primero, aunque sea pequeña, no lo van a pegar una patada y que se vaya, sino que lo tienen en cuenta y que van a trabajar mucho para eso.
Okay. Es que hay mucha gente que está hablando, por ejemplo, de la plataforma, pide cosas de la plataforma. En realidad los que están viendo el streaming ahorita deben entender que cada fallo y digamos de bots, por ejemplo, fallos de bots, fallos de la plataforma, el almacenamiento es en buffer, cuando se cae la plataforma, errores, todo eso lo están trabajando poquito a poquito. Pregúntale cuánto falta de Kick para que ya no esté en fase beta. Esa es la verdadera pregunta.
How much time left to go out of beta? Mira.
I think we've benchmarked that very heavily on 3 main criterias, of 2 which we've gotten out. I think the big one that we're looking to achieve here before we exit beta would be the new application for iOS and Android, the mobile application. That's kind of when that comes out, I think we can safely say that we're fully in production. It doesn't mean we're finished by any means. We still have a lot of work to do. But the current mobile app is very much a beta version. It isn't the finished product. So once that new one's out, I think we'll be very comfortable to remove that official beta tag. But with that said, doesn't mean we stop working. We got so much more work to do after that. Heaps more. But yeah, the new mobile app, which is hopefully not far off.
Que él cree que no está muy lejos, pero que será cuando lancen la nueva aplicación para Android y para iOS, o sea, como porque ahora pues está la aplicación que está, pero cuando lancen la nueva, ahí cree que se terminará la beta.
O sea, cuando, ok.
No la actualización, digamos, sino que se va a lanzar una nueva aplicación entera.
Ok, está bien. Bien. No, yo creo que estamos melos, ¿no?
Ok.
No, pues no tengo más. Ya hablarlo de lo que sí, yo creo que estamos bien.
So no more questions for WestCOL Hittings. Like everything is okay. And thank you so much for inviting us.
Awesome. No, thank you so much for coming on again. I think we spoke. I spoke to Andrew. I'm like, hey, look, is there any way we could have WestCOL come on after this amazing event? And I was like, we didn't think you'd come, but the fact you showed up, we're like, thank you so much. You know, it's really appreciative. It means a lot. Everything you're doing for the platform, you know, we see it happening, and you know, I'm open to, you know, you ask Bryce to add me to the conversation with you guys as well, maybe, so I can. I know it's all in Spanish, but I know you guys have that back and forth. But I'd be happy to be as involved as you'd like me as well, if that helps. You know, we're here to support you guys, and you know, try to, you know, make some of these ideas come true, right? I think we've mentioned a few really good things on this call, like, you know, just like the Spanish Streamer Awards, like doing more official events, like, you know, ensuring that we, you know, make sure you guys feel like we're reciprocating in terms of contractual terms. Like, again, if we can, you know, if you can bring me into those conversations, I can help make sure that we, you know, don't just sit here and talk about it, but we action stuff as well. You know, we want to get behind you as much as possible, because yeah, right now, yeah, Kick is you're our number one, so we need to look after you.
Sí, o sea que eres el número uno, que tranquilo, que te van a cuidar.
Me tienen que cuidar porque dígale que yo me voy.
No. You know, WestCOL is joking about everything. You know, part of his joke is, of his job is to joke about the things.
Dígale que yo estoy muy feliz en Kick.
He's so happy on Kick, and always he's posting about what the fuck other streamers are doing in other platforms.
Dígale, yo cada vez que hablo con un streamer le digo que se vaya aquí, vos sabes que sí, o sea, porque realmente no es algo que lo hacemos, ni siquiera es un negocio para nosotros el hecho de que vaya un streamer, sino que es un negocio para los streamers que vengan aquí, más para ellos, porque o sea, es una plataforma que te da mucho más beneficios que otras plataformas. Entonces, que ellos sepan que de corazón nosotros también queremos apoyar y seguir haciendo crecer la plataforma. Entonces, así como ellos nos dicen que están para nosotros también estamos puestos para ellos, porque por esa misma razón le pedíamos que nos dejen hacer los Kick Awards, que nosotros nos encargamos mientras obviamente tengamos el apoyo de ellos.
Sí, no, that WestCOL, all time we are in a streamers event or a Kings League or something like that WestCOL speaks a lot of streamers about why are you in other platforms? You are losing time, you are losing money, you are losing everything. And this is not a business for WestCOL, you know. He don't get any of that, but he loves his job, and he loves to give opportunities to other people. And he thinks like the big opportunity is on Kick. The biggest opportunity is on Kick.
I agree. And we'll prove to you that as well, right? I think, you know, obviously time, it takes time, but, you know, I think, you know, that support will help us to get to that point, right? And I think, you know, it's up to us to deliver on that and make sure that, you know, you feel safe and confident that is the right choice to make, and keep investing in what you're doing, right? And, you know, that support means so much. And I think, yeah, we won't let you down, put it that way. So it's, it means so much, especially as you said, you know, going above and beyond to really sort of push that messaging, whether it's on, Twitter or whatever, you know, it means so much. It really helps, right? It really drives home the messaging. And it's probably why, you know, really helped with so much of that growth in Latin America is on the back of that strong, true support. So, you know, I can't thank you guys enough, and it means a lot.
Muchas gracias, que significa mucho cualquier tweet de cosas, de apoyo, etcétera, que en general significa mucho para la plataforma.
No estamos.
Sí, I think he's okay with everything, and he hopes to see some of you next year in Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, we got to make that happen. Yeah. That's a great one.
Oh, yeah. Sí, que se prepare la plataforma.
Yeah, prepare the platform and yourselves.
Yeah, no, a platform first. That's
platform first.
Yeah, that needs to Yeah, we wake up call last time. And never underestimate the Street Fighter event. Yeah, that's lesson learned.
Yeah. No, thank you so much, guys.
Awesome. All right.
Gracias.
Well, thank you so much for dropping by. I really appreciate it. And just Carlos, get me in that conversation with you and Bryce if possible. Yeah, and we'll talk further about everything we discussed here as well, so we can follow up.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Gracias, Eddie.
All right,
Thanks, guys.
see you guys.
Gracias.
Have a great
Gracias. Thanks, Paul. I'm Santa Maria. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Famous WestCOL, that was awesome. Like, we made that happen. You got WestCOL on. That's so cool. The same guy that has 1.4 million people watching him, like, only like less than a month or 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Come on, Kick Talk. That's awesome.
The thing, what's funny about WestCOL is like when he first started streaming on Kick, nobody really knew, we didn't know who he was, and we just knew the traffic that came. We were like, why are we so busy? Who's streaming? And then we would look and it would be WestCOL with, like 20, 30, 40K. Real traffic, obviously. Like if it was bot traffic, it wouldn't affect us, our infrastructure. But the guy is just a superstar. So it's awesome to see him grow on Kick and see him averaging over 100K a stream at this point. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think that growth, the thing is even reaching like sometimes 200K on like Minecraft streams, which is just like, I don't know, that's like unheard of. It's crazy. So he's playing in his own league at this point. So, props to WestCOL and Carlos and that massive team that he has behind him. So, yeah. Yeah, Paul,
I think it also...
So go on.
Oh, sorry, no, real quick. I think it also speaks to the global impact that Kick is having. I think that I think we're really onto something. Even like the MENA region is going gangbusters. I know India has been thinking about coming online, and they've been kicking our tires for a while. But I think with everything going global yet local, I think we're really in a great position to start creating Kick on a global level, right? Like North America is hugely important, and they always, I think, hold the torch of how we move forward. But I'm really excited to see more of these types of creators. I mean, how many times does someone in the MENA region pop off numbers, and you're like, who is this guy? Where is this person coming from? And there's a WestCOL in India, there's a WestCOL in Oceania, there's a WestCOL, even in Mexico, right? So it's amazing that we're attracting this kind of talent.
Yeah, no, streaming's global, right? You need to be across everything, and that's what Kick is, a global platform, and being able to support and being able to understand requirements, needs, and everything across the globe is going to be super important. So yeah, no, I think we're doing a good job there as long as we continue to support them. And I think, as I mentioned, not forgetting where we came from in those markets as well, and staying in close contact and looking out for them. Just no different to North America, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Paulie, you mentioned you want to quickly run through some TV app stuff, hey?
Yeah. I was going to try and mention it earlier.
Thanks, Bond Rabbit, for the host as well. Appreciate that.
Just some nice product updates that we've had going out recently. So we released the sort of our Gen 1 version of the TV apps this past week. Apple TV and Google TV, so you can find them on the Apple TV device or Google Play Store. And I think this product is just a testament to the new wave of Kick product and engineering. We took our time building a product the right way, all natively, and I think the results have been overwhelmingly positive. Just run through a couple quick facts. So within the first few days, we were top 50 in over 50 different countries on the app stores, top 10 in over 20 countries, and the top rated app in 7 countries. So that's pretty incredible. Over 95% of the reviews have been 5 stars. And again, it's just sort of combining that mentality of doing things right, but doing things better than what other companies have done in the past, right? So we took sort of our streaming tech and our streaming branding, and we sort of combined it with today's live streaming, today's streaming applications, right? So when you open up the Kick TV app, it feels like an app that's meant for your TV. I think the experience is incredible. And it's just a different way of viewing kick. It's more of a relaxed feel. It's more of just like sort of hanging out with your streamers. And it's just really unique to be able to watch kick on your TV. It just gives you sort of a different sensation than sort of like, being on your computer and doing a couple different things. You just kind of more immersed in the experience. And I'm really overall really happy with that product. And I think our audience, the user base is as well.
Yeah, no, the launch has been super smooth, I think, as well. I think you mentioned it was like number one in a whole bunch of different countries like Argentina, Chile, Saudi Arabia, I think it was. Like it blew up real quickly. And I think it's a testament, I think, if you haven't yet checked out the new Kick TV app, I think it really is a testament to like the bar we're setting with new launches of updates and stuff. I know we spoke with Yuppy and Gypsy before about everything they're looking for and what they need and what they want. But, the reason these things are taking a bit of time is because it isn't about taking shortcuts. It's really about getting that real polish, that really, as close to perfection sort of end product as possible before coming out the market, with it. So it certainly has set the bar at where, we see sort of future updates coming out. So, big testament to the team involved in getting that across the line. And, there's a whole bunch of other great updates like that in the pipeline too, which are going to, continue to set that gold standard of what live streaming tech should look like. And as Paulie's mentioned, everything else that comes with that.
Yeah, real quick, I saw Pike mention in the chat asking sort of like if this is coming to other streaming TV devices. I can touch on that briefly. Like we will be releasing this on Amazon Fire Stick in the near future. So I think that'll just be one more sort of channel for people to download the Kick app, which is pretty exciting as well.
Hey, Paulie, any thoughts around Roku? I know Roku is kind of like an up and coming brand, but they've got really good integration coming in with a lot of their stuff. It's a little bit more affordable, and I've seen it in a lot more houses. But and Roku also like transcends like a lot of different brands, right? Have you been looking into Roku at all?
We have. So like when we first sort of decided which avenues to build the TV apps, we sort of went with like the lowest hanging fruit, which was sort of, Apple and Google and Amazon. Roku it's just an entirely different code, entirely different development team. We had the resources to build the TV apps the way we did currently right now. We know how important Roku is to the reach, and it's definitely something on our pipeline, but it's probably not something that's forefront right now. Our focus is now console in terms of like the next type of device application. And then once we feel like we've accomplished that, we'll probably move to like some supplemental apps like Samsung and Roku for the TV side of things.
I think that goes with all kind of, we call this kind of the device layers, right? So, you start bunching in all these, TV, Samsung as well, console. So, the idea, of course, is coverage. Coverage across everything is really, really important, I think, but it's about prioritization at the same time. Unfortunately, you can't do everything at once, but I think the blueprint's been laid for what we require. It's just about, resourcing, prioritization, and then, eventual execution and ensuring that execution's up to the highest quality as well. I think, could have a Roku app out tomorrow, or, in a week or whatever, or console, but it wouldn't be up to the quality, right? I think having that quality, having that ensuring that high caliber product remains within the sort of DNA of Kick is really important. And going forward, especially, I think, we mentioned with Gypsy and Yuppy, we rushed stuff at the beginning, but we're not doing that anymore. We're doing things the right way. We're measuring twice, cutting once, opposed to, kind of going in quick and just moving fast for the sake of moving fast. But, where there's demand, there will be delivery. So yeah, we're going to get there.
I saw someone in chat mention the Apple Vision Pro. What's cool about the Apple TV app, since it's been built fully native, is you can actually open it on your Apple Vision Pro and watch it there. So give that a shot.
Cool. I'll tell you what, it's about 4:30 a.m. here in Australia, so I reckon I'm gonna call it a night. I think there's a few good questions in chat, but maybe we leave that till next week. I think got a bit caught off guard with the with the daylight savings. So, but yeah, I think Andrew, as always, thank you for organising this. Paulie, thank you heaps for coming on, man. Appreciate appreciate you taking the time and jumping on quickly when we messed up the the slight timetabling. But hey, everyone tuning in here, guys, you know, I'm never going to stop saying this. You know, the the fact that people are coming in and wanting to hear what we're doing is great. You know, we're super passionate about this project. We're super passionate about Kick, and you know, the fact you guys want to come listen to us talk about it is like the coolest thing ever. Like you often get opportunities to work on projects where people, you know, want to actually listen to you talk about it. So it's it really is an honor, and we'll never take it for granted. The simple fact that you guys are here and expressing your opinions. You know, I think the chat is full of a lot of really great positive feedback and a lot of really great, you know, constructive feedback. And you know, we're continuing to take that on board, and it's super useful. And you know, thanks to Yuppy for you know, as always, giving us the cold facts and the straight to the point, matter of fact sort of approach and what we need to do better. You know, that 4 out of 10 hurt a little bit, but I reckon we can get that number up next time we talk. You know, Gypsy too, of course. 6 out of 10, a little better, but still hurt a bit. We're going to get that number up as well. But, you know, appreciate you guys coming on and having a chat. I think it'd be great to, you know, almost benchmark Yuppy and Gypsy as kind of like the OGs of live streaming on Kick, and you know, continue to kind of, you know, not document, but you know, use their journey as kind of as a way to kind of sense check the way that we're maturing as a company and how we're doing things better, and always be that kind of sounding board of, you know, the good old days and what they look like and how far we've come. So yeah, there's been a really great Kick Talk, and again, huge shout out to WestCOL for coming on. Know the guy's super busy. He's literally a fucking A-list celebrity basically nowadays. Like he's about the most famous person in the country of Colombia. So coming and taking time to hang out with us here on Kick Talk was awesome. So yeah, thanks Carlos, thanks WestCOL. But yeah, most of all, thanks to all you guys for tuning in. We'll be back next Saturday, 2 p.m. GMT, 2:30 p.m. GMT.
Yeah. We'll be back on track. And if you want to look for anyone to host, man, that'd be cool. And then also, I'm working on getting Big E out here. I'm working on getting Devin Nash out here, and I'm still talking with Tips Out, CEO of OTK. So trying to make some moves for next Saturday, but it's looking pretty promising. Nothing solidified yet, but those are the folks that we've been in talks with.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. I think yeah. These Kick Talks have been going awesome lately. I think we've had some really good chats. You know, Devin Nash would be an interesting one to have on. I'm looking forward to having a chat with him. I think Tips Out would be incredible. Big E is always going to be a pleasure to have a chat with Big E. That'd be great. I think we could shoot the breeze with Big E for several hours if needed. But yeah, now let's looking forward to the next Kick Talk, and I guess we'll have the next announcement out shortly.